It's the Orioles on Maston, and we welcome you back to Minnesota. The Orioles and the Twins in a 4-game set. They've got 2 more to go with the Orioles. 2 chances to get out of a losing streak. They want to win right now. For the Orioles, it has been a very tough couple of months. They started out so well, had the #1 record in the league when they were about 31 games in. Now, all of a sudden, it's fallen apart on them. They come in with a 5-game losing streak going back to last year. Minnesota's won the last 6 ball games played against the Orioles. But during this current 5-game losing streak, here are the numbers. And they pretty much tell you why the Orioles have not won. The ERA of the starters, an incredibly high 11+. The bullpen's 2.37, but they really haven't had to pitch in ball games that have mattered. The runs per game are only 2.6 for the Orioles. They had the best runner in scoring position number most of the year. That has dropped way down to 182, and they're not hitting home runs, which, of course, account for about 48% of their runs this year. So Jim Palmer, got to find a way out.
Well, you do. And, Mark Trumbo yesterday in the opening talked about basically you have the ingredients. We got to put them together. And, I, as a former starting pitching, Gary, you got to make your guys think you have a chance to win. And if we go on this road trip, started in Milwaukee, they're down 7-0 after 2 innings. The next night it's 5-0. Jimenez throws 3 home runs. Then Aquino pitches all right, but the Orioles don't score. They're down 4-0. They come here, they get a 2-0 lead, a 6-0 lead. They can't hold it. But again, it's not just the starters. The defense with Hardy and Davis out, not as good. Bullpen's getting healthy. So, again, I look at Mark Wiley today. Roy Smiley said, hey, tell me about Miley. I said, he's 30 years old. He's got a good fastball. He's got a good curveball. He's got a good slider. Never had arm problems. He can throw strikes. You can't run on him. But he can't throw the ball over the plate. And that's the problem.
We'll see whether or not Wade can overcome that today. When we come back, we're going to talk about, pitching, actually, with John Russell. How about throwing those first pitch strikes? Royal Farms. Pick up your ROFO rewards card today at any Royal Farms to save on gas and to start earning points for free stuff. Gorgeous summer afternoon here in Minneapolis. We have talked so much this season about there's no such thing as a fastball count anymore. John Russell worked behind the plate as a catcher, now the bench coach for the Orioles. And he said, indeed, it's a different ball game.
I think the game has changed a lot over the years. I think that, guys are very comfortable throwing their off-speed pitches in any count, and it can be very effective at times, but also it can put you in some holes that you don't want to be in. So I think you see the pitchers that are really good, they have good fastball command, and everything works off of that. And they feel confident that they can throw their off-speed whenever they want, and that even adds to their success. But the one thing I've noticed, the guys that have a lot of success can command their fastball, and they can throw it in counts and induce contact early or get back into a count with it. And that's one of the things that our guys have been really trying to work on. But I think it's important. And secondary pitches are always a good weapon, and if you can throw them when you're behind in the count, that's even a better weapon. But the main thing is if you got to command your fastball, and if you do that, you're going to have some success.
Is it the fact that the pitchers wanted to throw more of the off-speed stuff and breaking balls that led to the change? Why do you think it happened?
You look at counts and this and that, and hitters hit in offensive counts, but they have throughout baseball, a 2-0 count, 3-1 count. When the hitter's ahead, they're more apt to get hits. When they've got 2 strikes on them, they're less apt to hit. It's just that's the way it's always been. So I think pitchers, sometimes they realize that. In an offensive count, we call it pitching backwards. 2-0 pitch, usually you see a fastball. Guys are throwing more changeups. They're throwing more breaking balls to try to get the hitter more off balance. So, it is a little bit of a trend I've seen over the last 10 years that, guys are starting to do that a lot more. For example, yesterday, their guy threw our 9-0 hitter a 2-0 breaking ball, and I'm kind of shocked. But, we've done it too, so I can't, I'm not faulting them. But, so it has changed a little bit. And I think, the way the ball's flying, the amount of home runs that are being hit, some guys feel like, they're not just going to give up that fastball and let a guy take a good rip at it.
It's got to have changed the meetings when you go in with the catchers and the pitchers as to what you're saying before ball games.
Well, the main thing, you go over tendencies, what hitters do, their last, 5 to 10 games. Are they swinging the bat well? What's their history? Do we have history against those guys? Obviously, when you play in your own division, you have a little bit better idea what guys do and how to attack them. And, what I tell the catchers is, we try to get through the lineup with as less effort as possible, trying to induce contact. Maybe if you can pitch him in, maybe save that for a situation to where you really need to get it. His first at bat, nobody on, try to get him out with something different. And when you need that fastball in that he has trouble with or he's been having trouble with, when you get a guy on second and third or whatever, that might be a time when you break it out. So we try to do that, but Gary, it all depends on what your pitcher's giving you. If he's got command and he's putting the ball where he needs to put it, it makes a catcher's life a whole lot easier, and it makes a pitcher's life a lot easier. So, we have all the tendencies, we have all the strengths and weaknesses. The up and in, down and away is always there, but we like to say where a safe zone would be. If you throw the ball here, you're most likely going to be okay, and it's just a matter of executing the pitch.
All right, John, final question. As we watch you with the signs in the dugout, we talk about what you're doing. Let me hear it from you. What are the signs that you go through with a catcher, pitch by pitch?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, you call pitches, and no. It's when we have runners on base, I relay to the catchers if we're going to throw over or pitch out. And, there's different signs, first and third. I'll give those to the catchers, where we're going to throw the ball, either throw through, direct throw to third, or no throw at all. So that's the communication I have with them with runners on. So that's basically it. It's just, man on first, I'm going to call a pick off or a pitch out or just give dummy signs and nothing. But, we don't get into calling pitches for them. It's tough, A lot of people say, well, why don't you call pitches from the bench? It's difficult when you're not back there and you're not seeing it and you're not seeing what the pitcher's doing and how he's giving you the ball and how his ball's reacting. And, it's easy sometimes from the side, well, we should have thrown that. But I guarantee you look back at all the pitches that are hit really hard, the location was missed. And that's the biggest thing. When we hit up balls really hard, location's missed, and you pay for it as a pitcher and a catcher.
Well, John, he knows what he's talking about. Very good receiver. Could hit some home runs. And, I saw him today, even though Caleb Joseph's not catching, they're having a little meeting, sitting in the breakfast room or the lunchroom, whatever you want to call it, depending on the time of the game, and just trying to get prepared maybe for tomorrow.
Take a look at what's going on weather-wise, and it is a beautiful summer day. BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? 79 and 41% humidity. Orioles lineup brought to you by Southwest. Yes, the low fares, nothing to hide. That's transparency. Rickert, Machado, and Scope. Jones, Trumbo, and Mancini. Castillo, Giabatella gets the start. Gentry's in. Manny's at third, and look who's at short. Jonathan Scope. Manny, big day yesterday. And we are ready to go. Left-hander Mejia on the mound, and standing in, Joey Rickert takes the pitch for a strike.
And there's the scouting report. Well, he's streaking, has won his last 3 decisions, changes speeds well, almost more breaking balls than fastballs, and that'll be curveball, slider, and changeups. And again,
bunted, and a play by the pitcher, and throw it right into the runner. Rickert will make a turn. Now he's got to get back to the bag, and he does. So Joey Rickert laying one down as the Orioles use the bunt to start an offense here in the first inning.
Well, for Joey, that started in spring training when he dropped a 2-strike, 2-out bunt. And Ron Johnson, manager at Norfolk, said, "Now that's a player. Really tough angle right here. So you got to make a perfect throw. It's into the runner." And then again, very quickly pick it up and fire, and the throw a little bit offline. So take a look at Alberto Mejia. So he's pitched well. So he's, again, he's 4-3, but at one point he was 1-3. So he can pitch innings. He can pitch deep into the game. They got him in the Eduardo Nunez, who made the All-Star team for the Twins, and they got Mejia from the Giants right before the trading deadline concluded last year.
Fastball slider pitcher. We'll see a lot today, and obviously the left-hander going against the Orioles. Couple of lefties making the start in the ball game today, and the pitch will be taken away for a ball. Manny Machado. Big ball game for Manny. 2 home runs, 2 singles, 4 for 5 in the ball game. He has had a 5 for 10 first 2 games of this series with the 2 home runs, and has driven in 4 in the first 2 ball games. Delivery to Manny, and a little breaking ball and a wrinkle on that one, and he will take it for a strike. Manny's 235 off the lefties, 220 off right-handers so far this year. While the batting average numbers may not go up a whole lot, Manny's hoping the home run and RBI production in particular will be there for him. He's got 45 runs batted in off the end of the bat and foul.
I'll take a look. Back-to-back home runs. Seth Smith leads it off, and he goes to right center. That was home run number 17, and then a changeup from the young starter, Jorge, and all of a sudden, you got yourself a 3-run home run. So the first 2 at bats, 4 RBIs. Belated
birthday present we talked about, since his birthday was a couple of days ago.
Well, you saw Mejia get him out on his front foot because he does have a good changeup.
Mejia, pretty good lead at first. Rickert swing and a miss, tailed it away.
Yeah, there it is. And yeah, he made a good take, but it's a foot outside. And if you look at the scouting reports, I mean, you really, and his ability, we're talking about Manny, is to hit the ball the other way, but look how far outside he chases. So again, okay, he's got a changeup. You know that. Make him throw the ball by you. Your strength is right field. Nobody hits the ball better to right field on this club than Manny Machado when he's willing to discipline himself and do that.
Here's Jonathan Scope. Jonathan's had a 3 for 9 in the series, still flirting with that 300 average. Joey Rickert still over there at first base. His delivery will be taken for a strike. The Orioles coming into the ball game against the left-handed starters are 12-14. They are 12th in the American League in win percentage against left-handers, just as Buck Showalter expected in spring training. Teams have tried to roll their rotation around to get lefties in against the Orioles. Pitch will be taken inside by Jonathan.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine you go to Boston. Now that Price is healthy, you get Price, you get Pomerantz, you get Sale, number 1, really a number 1 starter. And that's just there. And the Yankees, and now they got Jordan Montgomery, and then CC Sabathia is back off the disabled list. And just go through the teams.
A lot of lefties in the second half again against the Orioles, since the numbers are not that good, not at 500 or better. Mejia, he's won the last 3 starts. What Jim was talking about, he's been up and down in the minors because he had joined the ball club at the beginning of the season, but struggled so much they sent him down, brought him back up for a game, sent him back down, brought him back up again on May 26th, and he has won his last 3 starts. Ground ball is going to go to short. Adrianza 1, relay is in time. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. For the Orioles, their left-hander, Wade Miley, to pitch. Trying to get number 16 here today. Take a look at the lineup for the Twins. Dozier, Escobar, Sano, Grossman, Vargas, Rosario, Adrianza, Buxton, and Castro. Byron Buxton, last 4 games, a .500 batting average. Done well against the Orioles.
And for Wade Miley, I mean, really trying to be more aggressive in throwing strikes. He leads the major leagues in pitches thrown per inning and also in walks. We'll give him some length. Get in the 6th or the 7th. Certainly capable of doing it. Did it early in his first 11 starts. Central Time, pretend you're either out west or somewhere back in the east, because he's given up 10 runs in 7 1/3 innings. You know the numbers. Righties hit him obviously a lot better than lefties. Home runs 11 by right-handed batters, only 1 by the lefties.
So see how he can do today. The Twins have had about the same record as the Orioles against left-handed starters, as they will come in here 11-13 against lefties. They are 13th in win percentage in the American League. Dozier pops that one up in the air to right field. A lot of sun today. 2 high clouds. It'll be hauled in by Gentry, 1 down.
Yeah, take a look at the defense. Big ballpark, even though the ball carries. So you got your A outfield, Rickard, Jones, and Gentry. Machado, Scope. Machado's won the Platinum Glove, another Gold Glove. Scope playing shortstop, first time since the Arizona Fall League. Johnny G. Giavatello comes up from AAA Norfolk. Mancini, who's a little bit of a tough stretch with the glove. And then Wellington Castillo doing the catching.
1 down. Wade Miley goes to Escobar, and Escobar will take the pitch away for a ball. Last night, the 6-run deficit that the Twins overcame is the largest comeback they have had this year. They also have beaten the Orioles once, where they came back 5 runs. In the air to center, and Adam Jones is there to put it away, and Escobar retired.
Again, this is what we were talking about early on. You know, he got a lot of runs. He's gotten a lot of runs all year long, which I'm sure is frustrating for him. But again, he was able to pitch a little bit deeper, keeping the ball in the ballpark, and you know, again, didn't probably get rewarded as well in the 1-loss record, but he was pitching deeper and giving them a chance to win pretty much all the time. Lately, just can't go deep enough. So it's a pleasant surprise, maybe a little more aggressive early on.
Team is 8-9 in the starts made by Miley this year. For the Orioles, with that ball game they lost last night, second time this year, Orioles have had a lead of at least 6 runs and lost a game. They had a lead against the Yankees 9-1 back in April, and they lost it 14-11. The Orioles are the only team in the majors who have lost 2 games this year after leading by 6 or more runs in a ball game. Sano with a 9-game hit streak. He's 1 for 1 off Miley, a home run. Miley will deliver it down low to him, and Sano gets ahead in a hurry, 3-0. He may very well have a green light here.
Yeah, you would imagine that. Going to the
down,
All-Star
nobody on.
game, yeah, for the first time at age 24. There's the low strike.
Miley, who threw it all, has continued to work at a brisk clip when he's out there on the mound. He gets the ball. He's generally ready to get it back in. That ball will be a base hit. So Sano's got a 10-game hit streak. His 3rd hit of the series, and he did it by going the other way.
Yeah, you pitch him away. We saw him do that on Thursday night. He drove in on the first run off of Dylan Bundy. I mean, hit a missile on a line drive to right field.
That will equal his longest hit streak of 10 that he had last year. So Sano is on with 2 down, and Robbie Grossman will come to the plate. Switch hitter, getting the start in right field in this ball game. The Orioles again will move a bit of a shift, not all the way over, and the pitch will be taken down low.
Yeah, most of the time he will DH, and then Kepler, who's red hot, he'll play right field against right-handers, and then no home runs, all 6 home runs from the other side of the plate. Batting average a little bit better from this side, but then hitting left-handed. On base percentage good both ways.
Grossman way up among the leaders, leads the Twins in on base percentage and is 11th in the American League. And the pitch will be taken up high, and Miley falls behind a 2nd hitter in a row as the count goes to 2-0 on Grossman. Grossman has face weighed only a couple of times and has gone 0 for 2. Miley does not have a record against the Minnesota Twins. Pitch will be fouled away. It's only his first start this year and the 2nd of his career. He was non-decision in a game last May in Baltimore. Worked 4 innings against the Twins, 5 runs on 6 hits. 2 ball, 1 strikeout with 2 down.
You see, just barely out of the strike zone. But again, you got a disciplined guy. I'm sure, you know, the Twins they may not know he's walking 5.5 per 9 innings. They're throwing 19, almost 20 pitches an inning, but they know he has had command problems. And he would have had to fallen asleep in their pregame meeting not to know that.
Grossman will take it, and it is a strike. He wanted to go to first. Rein him back in, said Sean Barber, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, again, right around the lower part of the strike zone, and there's Grossman very happy to go down to first base if the umpire helps him out.
3 ball, 2 strike delivery, base hit up the middle. Jones will come on and hold the runner at second base. So after 2 away, Sano and Grossman both deliver base hits.
Yeah, the more pitches you get to see, and you're going to see the 6th pitch here get nice and crisply to center field. I always thought it gave the hitter an advantage. You get to see the velocity, the movement, if there is any. And then when you go 3 and 2, now that's what, the 93rd time that he's gone 3 and 2. 384 batters, make it maybe now what, 387.
That'll get your pitch count up there.
It does. But it's not only that; they just get to see your stuff, and then just what happens the second time. You know, it becomes a little bit easier to hit.
Kenny Vargas called up. Mauer going on the DL yesterday, Joe Mauer. And were the Twins ever happy they called him up? Did not go around on that. Vargas came through with a 3-for-4 ball game in his return. Picked up 2 RBIs, including 2 in the 5-run 5th inning. A big 2 RBI double in that inning for Kenny Vargas. The Twins were 7 for 13 with runners in scoring position in the ball game last night. In the 2 games, they have gone 10 for 22.
Yeah, they've jumped up, what, 6 points after you already almost played 90 games. That's how well they've hit with scorers, at least right there.
Waiver on that one.
Well, looking for something other than the curveball.
Take a look at the base runners. Sano and Grossman. StatCast powered by AWS. Vargas, the switch hitter. 2 ball, 1 strike count on him. Wade Miley's delivery is going to be straight back.
Yeah, the first 3 hits were when he turned around and hit from the left side of the plate, and they were all in fastballs. They were all either center field or left center. Almost missed a home run by a foot to the opposite field. So he's a big guy, 6'5", we're listed 275 to 280.
And came in and got him. So Miley gets a big strikeout right there. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 are left on base. Orioles. Those are the numbers, and you see that starter ERA for the O's.
Yeah, and then again the what they've done so well, runners in scoring position. So there you go. And then the bullpen, it's settled down. So is the Orioles. It's just they both have trouble with their starting pitching. That's why Mejia, I mean, a huge addition, and it looks like he's settled down a little bit. I mean, he could pitch a little bit for a young guy. Turned 24 in June.
So Mejia ready to work to Adam Jones. Adam stands in a 4-game hit streak, average up to 265, closing in his major league career average 277. Coming in to this season, he has varied little over his great years with the Orioles. 265 last year, but it's been right around that 285, 280 mark for Adam Jones year in and year out. Mejia with the 1 ball, 1 strike count. Jones, Trumbo, and Mancini due up here in the top of the 2nd inning. And Adam on that, gonna have trouble with that pitch, that changeup.
Well, if you're going to chase it, I mean, you got a choice to get to 2 strikes. You can look soft. You can look hard away and just try to stay on the changeup and make him say, okay, I'm going to be able to pitch inside, and he's better away to his arm side.
Came back with a little heat at 92.
Yeah, it's funny. Scott Coolbaugh, who was the hitting instructor, said only Kinsler, who's going to the All-Star game, their closer, of everybody, starters and relievers, are comfortable pitching in. So your hitting instructor knows that, but can he get the hitters to understand that? Now, you got to battle when it's 1 and 2, but until then, you can look away and stay looking away.
And that one breaks down and in at 86.
Yeah, and again, I mean, it's not one of these breaking balls that goes and hits your back foot. It stays in the zone a long time. But again, it's inside enough where, because of the count, you get Adam Jones to chase it.
So Mejia's got a couple of strikeouts. That'll bring up Mark Trumbo. Mark comes in with a 6-game hit streak, adding to it with a 2 for 8 in this series, including a home run and a couple of RBIs. He's hitting .300 during the hit streak with 2 homers. His longest hit streak this season an 8-game streak that he had back in early May. Mark has been barreling up pretty good of late. He's hitting the ball hard. 1-0 count, 1 down, base is empty. Jumbo will take fastball way out of the zone up high.
Yeah, the home run on Thursday on a 3-0 count gave the Orioles a 2-0 lead, straightaway center. Yeah, it seems like Byron Buxton in the center field plays a little deeper on day games here.
Way deeper, don't you think?
Yeah.
Because he generally plays in, but he is, I mean, he's back beyond the normal center field position. Now, part of that's Trumbo.
Yeah, and the fact that I think maybe afternoon game, the ball maybe it's a little bit warmer. Beautiful day. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if you could ask for a better day to pitch or hit.
3-0 delivery on the way. Trumbo will take it on the outside corner for a strike.
So my question is, what does he have on his non-pitching forearm that he keeps rubbing? Probably a little bit of some kind of substance that gives him a little bit better grip, because after he throws every pitch, he goes right to that wrist.
3-1 delivery again, coming in over the top at 81. Right.
And another changeup and a fastball count, which you talked to John Russell about. Well, he threw what, 90 pitches, and 54 were breaking balls in his last start. He pitched well against the Angels.
And they shift the defense, playing him to pull on the 3-2. And another one. Boy, that is a nasty pitch that early on he's got control of.
Yeah, again, if you can't track it, and it's similar to the one that Adam Jones, maybe a little bit lower. So if you don't read it, you don't see it, and if you're not going to use up the middle and you're out in front of it, he's going to change speeds and make you flail away all afternoon until he makes some mistakes.
We'll bring up Trey Mancini. Trey has continued his run, now having hit in the last 5. He's gone 4 for 8 here in this series. Mancini during the streak 9 for 20. He too has had a longer streak this year of 9 games, and he picked up earlier, but he generally hasn't gone games without picking up a base hit. I mean, he'll end one streak, and then the next day after he goes hitless, he'll start another. And that's consistency for Trey Mancini.
Yeah, and all over the ballpark.
1-1 delivery to him, put up in the air to right. Grossman will chase back and get under. 1, 2, 3 innings for Mejia. Orioles are retired. Rosario will lead it off for the Twins. Middle River, 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. Play Home Run Rich's scratch offs went up to 50,000. Earn a non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/homerun. Lisa, good luck. There they are. Wherever you go, you will see them. You'll be glad you did, and you will want to follow in the footsteps of fine fashion.
Yeah, I was walking over from the hotel today, and they came up with that shirt. He said, "Hey, you want to take a picture?" I said, "With that shirt? Of course." I said, "You need to get the shorts that you were talking about last night."
Those are great.
Yeah, they're.
And you've got the shorts that have the same design pattern on to go with that, and
No,
a hat that matches.
no.
Oh, no. Oh.
Not
And
even,
the breaking ball.
Not even during the All-Star break.
No.
Yeah, that was like people would wear striped shirts back in college with mattress shirts. Yes, exactly.
You weren't going to be missed.
Oh.
That'll go into the shift. Jonathan Scope playing at short will make the play. Rosario is retired. Well, the Orioles host the Chicago Cubs. They're coming in July 14, 15, and 16 at Oriole Park. Fans are encouraged to bring any non-perishable food item and cash donations to benefit the Maryland Food Bank during that series. It's the 31st annual Orioles Reach Food and Funds Drive, presented by Masson, WJZ, and Pompey Inn Brands. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. And we welcome all of you watching on WJZ. Pitch will be taken for a strike. Adrianza is getting the start at shortstop in the ball game today. Orioles defense straight up against him, and he won't matter. He goes to center for a base hit.
Yeah, we saw him when he was playing with the Giants. Very athletic infielder, could play all over.
So Adrianza on. He's yet another switch hitter in this lineup, and they pick up their third hit. And that'll bring Buxton to the plate. Showed you when we looked at the lineups just how hot Buxton has been. 3 for 8 in this series, also scoring a couple of runs on the year. He is 7 for 19 against the Orioles.
And how about scoring from first base on a single last night?
Never stopped.
Yep.
No, that was a great round.
Yeah, Orioles did not execute hit the cutoff man, but it was a bad angle, and he beat the throw. And it was a throw from Jonathan Scope, who has one of the best arms in baseball.
He really let a rip on that one. Big lead at first base, showed bunt. Faked down by Castillo. Buxton during his 4-game hit streak has gone 8 for 16. That's how hot their center fielder has been. He's checking down at third base, see whether or not anything is on here, whether or not they might be running. They got good speed at first and at the plate. Gene Glenn, their third base coach. Ground ball back to the mound. Miley's got it. There's one, wrong side of the bag, but got him. Dragged the foot across the bag. Giavatello with an outstanding play to get the force out. The Twins are going to want to take a look at that on the video to see if they want to challenge.
Yeah, you're thinking double play if you're Johnny G, but again, he drags that left foot, so they may look, but this is a double play ball. So right here, right there, and of course they may contest the fact that he had control after the foot drag, but I don't think so.
No.
But again, I mean, if you make a good throw, I know Johnny G is thinking about a double play, even though Buxton runs well. But the one thing about Wade Miley, if you're buying Buxton, you get a big lead, you might get yourself picked off. That's how good a move he has.
So a fielder's choice will put Buxton on at first base. 16 stolen bases, caught only once. Tough to steal on Wade Miley. This year they got 2 out of 3. And the pitch taken down low. Castillo boxes that one to hang on.
Yeah, there are a lot of young infield, and even some veterans that. I remember Matt Holliday. He wasn't even trying to run. He got picked off up in New York. But he's got a big lead, and a lot of guys will get a one-way lead where you go out, but you're coming back. But that wasn't the case. So I would think that maybe in the next pitch or two, you're going to see one of Wade Miley's good moves, and it's hard to distinguish.
Jeff Smith, third base coach, had a discussion over there with Buxton. There's the bunt. That's the base hit. No, he got him. What a play. There was nobody on the third base side. And Wade Miley, the only one who had a chance to field that, makes an outstanding play on Castro, who tried to lay it down in no man's territory. Great defensive effort by the Oriole pitcher. Game brought to you by Miller Lights. Great play by Miley to help himself out and get out of the inning. Orioles will bat here in the third. Castillo, Giavotella, and Gentry will be due up.
Yeah, it's not exactly a play when you're doing your pitcher's fielding practice that you practice on the fields in Sarasota. Only way he could have made it, and he did it.
Sliding along the grass to get the baseball. Castillo a 1-for-4, playing in one of the first two games. He and Caleb Joseph swapping off behind the plate. It's been a tough return off the DL. Wellington Castillo, since coming off the DL, still trying to get back to the 200 mark. He's hitting 175, including some 74 at bats. And the pitch will be taken away, and the count will go to 2-0 in Castillo.
Well, let's see what he does when he gets behind the hitters. In your interview with John Russell, talking about the fact that, especially when you have a good changeup, you get a fastball to hit.
Yep, he did. Popped it up. Tough play. Right field. Long run. Grossman will get there. Ball stayed up. Castillo retired.
Well, there they are. And again, you can see how good the off-speed stuff is. And, you know, the Orioles have some idea of the way he pitched. Again, as I mentioned, you know, he threw 100 pitches against the Angels, won, and 56 were breaking balls. So they know that he likes to do it. And, you know, again, Gary, because he's already established the changeups, I'm not sure Wellington Castillo was looking for the fastball. And 90 looked a lot quicker than that.
Yep.
We talk about it, but there's a perfect illustration.
Here is Giavotella at the plate, and he will take the pitch down low for a ball. Joining the ball club here in Minnesota. He has had a 1-for-2. And Giavotella will get some time at second base. The Orioles trying to pump the lineup up a little bit by keeping Scope in there at short. Giavotella in, and J.J. Hardy out for a long time here. Buck Showalter making these changes that he alluded to on the road trip here in this series in Minnesota, that being Scope to short. Won't happen every day, but he's going to do it.
No, but it's certainly an option. And, you know, again, if this was last year and you had a healthy Ryan Flaherty, you probably would have moved Manny to short. But, you know, Johnny Giavotella, you know, he had a good spring. We've seen him. He played with the Angels, played with Kansas City, always had those great minor league numbers with the Royals. It seemed like there was always somebody ahead of him until he got to play for Mike Scioscia and the Angels. And he's a line drive hitter, occasional home run power.
Speed pitch away.
You would think that he would be able to adjust to Mejia about as well as anybody, because he's not trying to get out in front and hit home runs.
Giavotella stands out. Mejia had his career interrupted. 50-game suspension. Major League Baseball tested positive for banned drugs. That cost him some time. That one will be played in center. He got some big fly balls. Buxton coming over, and there are 2 down. The Orioles joined all of Major League Baseball in wearing special patriotic themed jerseys and caps honoring the 4th. Go to Orioles.com/auctions to bid on these autographed and authenticated game-worn items. All proceeds benefit USO, the metropolitan Washington Baltimore area. Bidding closes tomorrow at 10. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Gentry getting the start in right field. He's had only 1 at bat, 0 for 1 in the series. Right back to the mound. He has got it and the out, and retires the side in order. So 3 innings, 9 batters faced, and no score.
You think maybe 2, not a good throw. Votella stays on, and look at this play. Only way you can make it. Castro gets 2 hits on Thursday night against lefties. Tries to bunt his way on against the shift, and it gets Wade Miley out of the inning.
And we go to the bottom of the 3rd, top of the order. Dozier, Escobar, and Sano. Orioles, their transaction of the day. Chris Tillman reinstated from the paternity list, and Paul Janisch designated for assignment. Giovatella now filling in that role that Janisch had been playing here with the Orioles, and Paul's got to pass through waivers. Like Showalter saying, he certainly hoped that he does. Very tough call for Janisch, who's been there for the Orioles as needed over the years with that great glove.
Well, it's either going to be Janisch or Tejada, and Buck said that was choice that was made, maybe not by him, but it was made. So apparently Paul's going home. He lives in the Houston area, and then he'll see if he gets through waivers, and then most likely join Norfolk.
I'd be surprised. He's a player somebody might pick up. Pitch is going to be in there for a strike on the inside corner. Dozier flied to right field his first time up. Wade Miley, 61 wins, 66 losses in his career now for the 30-year-old left-hander. And that one will bounce off the plate. Count goes to 2-2. Chris Tillman is available in the bullpen. Buck really doesn't want to use him out of there. It takes so long for Chris to get ready to come in. But if he has the chance, he will. Buck's concerned about the fact that Tillman will not have pitched through the All-Star break and the paternity leave. It'll be a long time.
Yeah, I think ideally you'd like, ideally you'd like to have a huge lead so you could bring him in and with 2-3 guys, and because the bullpen's healthy to back him up.
Yeah, got him.
And one of those 3-2 counts. But a perfect pitch outside corner. 36 pitch, 19 of them strikes. But again, if it'll work. I mean, you do throw a lot of pitches, but against a guy that can hit home runs like Brian Dozier, that's a pretty good pitch.
One away here in the 3rd inning. Escobar Fly it out to center field his first time up. Delivery by Wade is a breaking ball, and that will be in there for a strike. Real problems trying to get through innings that we have talked about coming off the game at Milwaukee, his shortest start of the year. Working just an inning and 2/3, the 7 runs on 7 hits. So already a whole lot better than that. Working here in the 3rd, no runs, 3 hits. Left-hander's delivery, and that'll come inside.
Yeah, again, the curveball doesn't throw it a whole lot. Fastball, and then you can see slider and changeup can be effective. The key for him, though, is to be able to get ahead. And you're looking at some of the numbers. I mean, 0-1. You figure if they make contact after 0-1, they're still 13 for 30. And then if they make contact when he's 2-0, it's 5-10. 2-1, 8 for 16. Get an idea that when you're struggling with your command, you're not making good pitches, and you have to throw the ball over more of the plate than you'd like, and he's gotten in trouble, especially over the last 7 starts.
2-ball, 2-strike count here. Escobar, good numbers off the lefties, hitting .329 off left-handers, .256 off righties. And he'll take one that was away and foul it back into the sun-drenched crowd here today. Orioles are going to wrap up the pre-All-Star break part of their schedule tomorrow. The ball to Jimenez and Kyle Gibson. We will be on the air at 1:30 O's Extra, 2 o'clock for the ball game on Masson 2. Then the All-Star break, and then the Cubs will be coming to town to open up the second half at Camden Yards. The Orioles have that big 11-game homestand to open up the second half of the season, so they really would like to make some hay on that. Cubs for 3, Texas for 4, Houston for 3. Great pitch down and in, got him. So he's got 3 strikeouts, 2 in a row here in the 3rd.
Yeah, and both on 3-2 pitches, and then nice little slider. Escobar just waves at it.
Sano coming up, extended his hit streak to 10. He has started at first, 3rd, and now DH in these 3 games against the Orioles. Sano a base hit, stranded in the 1st inning. He'll go down to 3rd and foul.
And Johnny Giavotella, he moves over a couple of steps. He was on the left field side of second base, and that ground ball went in. This time you can see him, he's over in this area. And
1 delivery to him, and that's out of here. Way back in left field, he got all of it. Goodbye, home run.
Yeah, I was just about to say you'd give him a single to right, because he goes up to hit home runs. He is their all-star hitter for the Twins that's going to Miami.
5 home runs off lefties and 16 off righties. So Sano 2 for 2 in the ball game, and it's his 2nd home run lifetime off Wade Miley.
Yeah, a little changeup. Kind of like the 3-run home run that Manny Machado hit, except Manny got it in the air a little more. Both to left field, both end up over the wall. This one in a hurry.
And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Grossman, the right fielder, a base hit. 13th home run surrendered by Wade Miley, and 12 of the 13 have been hit by right-handers. Sano now, he has faced Wade Miley 3 times, gone 3 for 3 with 2 home runs off Miley. That'll be hit number 4 for Minnesota, and Miley's delivery taken away by Grossman. One of the problems for the Twins in winning games at home is that they've not been able to get home runs in their own ballpark. Coming into the game, they've been out-homered 81-54 at home. It's an extraordinarily high number.
Well, in this series, though, they've somehow, without the home run ball till then, managed to have a 6-run inning and a 5-run inning. Yeah, 5-run got him. Well, the 6-run inning got him the lead after down 2-0. 5-run.
Base hit, yes. So Grossman's 2 for 2.
Yeah, 2nd time through, boy, you better make some pitches. You better stay out of the middle of the plate. That's where this one was, right down the middle. And so Grossman works the count where he can get a strike and doesn't miss it.
In the season series, the Orioles have out-homered Minnesota 8-9 now, 9-3. But the Twins have won all the ball games. Runner on to first base, so R2 away. Miley with that quick toss over. Very tough to get the lead off Wade Miley at first base. Looking right at you, that high leg kick that he's able to hold up and go to first on.
And then he gives you a slide step. And even if you were running on the first move, you could get thrown out as quickly as he gets it to the catcher. Yeah, from this angle, if the right leg comes up and it goes behind the pitching rubber, you have to go home. But the good lefties, they hang it there, so you don't know.
Started and stayed off, and it misses.
Well, we're getting back into a hitter count again, and he already did that to Sano. Got it up a little bit. The changeup got hit out of here.
Vargas, 7 home runs on the year. Picked up in just 160 at bats. Strikeout victim, his first time up. And going for the long ball, but a pitch away.
Yeah, there's a good changeup. Sano would not have hit that pitch out of the ballpark.
Miley after his 4th win of the year, trying to undo this losing streak for both himself and the team. That's going to be a base hit to the gap in right center. Joey Rickert will cut it off, play it cleanly. Grossman stops at second base. All of this coming after there were 2 down.
Yep, again, back-to-back changeups. Second one hangs. Vargas doesn't miss it.
So another chance for the Twins. They had 2 singles in the first inning with 2 out and stranded them. Now they've got a home run and 2 singles with 2 outs here in the 3rd inning, having the 1-0 lead. Rosario grounded out. Shortstop his first time up.
Yeah, we saw last night he hits left-handed pitching when he hit that double down the left field line off of Zach Britton very well. Not for power. All his home runs, all 10 of them, are when he's facing right-handers. But he came in at 284 off the lefties, and that's a high number.
It's only 11 points lower than against right-handers.
And then Love's hitting here. You see those 9 home runs, 3 of them in one game against the Mariners back in June. I think June 12th.
0-1 delivery by Miley. Rosario's got the 6th best home average in the American League. That 331 number coming in. Takes a look down at third to Gene Glenn, who's watching at second base. Wanted to get a bigger lead at second for Grossman, so Scope moves in a little bit now to hold him off the fists and back. One ball, 2 strike count. Twins battling to stay in the race. They're going to do that through the first half of the season as they come in just a game and a half behind Cleveland. Now they're in second place. Kansas City also making a run. They are just 2 games out. What an extraordinary couple of months for Kansas City. That was a team after the first month and a half. It looked like they were toast.
Yeah, Paul Molitor, again, just generally saying, I just didn't think, especially with a lot of guys going to be free agents, that they would make this run. But he said, boy, they have played well.
That'll be fouled back. KC's front office saying we're going for it. Any changes they make are going to be to upgrade the team, not get rid of anybody.
Well, the other thing is, it used to be if you lose a type A free agent, you're going to get people. Now you have to give them a qualifying offer, and they have to get over $50 million. Hosmer's going to do that. Moustakas is going to do that. So you can still play it out and still get some kind of value for your free agents.
Rosario just waves on that one. Rickard coming over near the stands, and Joey can't get it. It's a foul ball right into the corner, and he couldn't get over there in time to get himself set.
Yeah, it looked like the wind might have kited it a little bit. So right here, and again, he's fighting the sun. That's a ball that he normally catches. And again, it's not easy. You come here, what, 3-4 games? He didn't take batting practice. So again, that's the first time he's really had to play a game, a ball with that kind of angle. But again, he normally catches it. He doesn't know where the wall is. So that's a catchable ball. And this is not only with the 5-game losing streak, how many times have plays that the Orioles usually make haven't been able to pull it off.
Kind that never show up in the box score and so affect the game. That a slow roller down to first. That is a fair ball. Taken to the bag by Mancini, and that will do it. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 2 left. Sano the homer, and a 1-0 lead. Now allowed a home run 13 straight. That ties Jesse Chavez for the longest streak by any MLB pitcher this year. Yankees struggling. They've only won 3 out of 10. They've lost 3 in a row. The Brewers beat them in New York for the first time in 21 years last night. And Drew Pomeranz is back. He improved to 6-1, a 2.57 ERA in his last 10. He has dropped from a 5.28 ERA when he started this run. Now is down to 3.60 with the Red Sox.
Yeah, and how about the Brewers? They make 5 errors in the first 4 innings, and the Yankees still end up losing.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, and of course they had lost. The Brewers had lost like 10 straight, 14 out of 15, going all the way 21 years till they. Wow.
Here's Joey Rickard, leadoff batter. Rickard a base hit his first time up. He'll take that one for.
Well, the Yankees have only won 6 out of the last 23 games, so.
The Red Sox are now 4.5 up. Boston's making the run. They've won 7 out of 10.
Well, now you got Cobb and Porcello pitching down at Tampa, so a big series for the Rays.
Rays are in 3rd place. Yankees 4.5 out. Tampa's 5.5, and then Baltimore and Toronto are both 9.5 behind the Red Sox, and that differential happened in a hurry. And Boston jumping out on top. Boston had some great help yesterday. They were the only team in the American League East to win. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Rickard. 4th inning. Twins won 6-0. The Orioles 0-1-0. In the air, left center field. These are very high fly balls, allowing the outfielders to get them. Buxton does. 1 down. 4th inning of Orioles baseball is being brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4 Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you here on a Saturday.
Well, my suggestion, and talking to Scott Coolby, I said when you have a guy that's throwing a lot of changes from curveballs, and Dan Gladden, who played on their 2 World Championships, who does radio, said, you can move around in the box, move up a little bit, depending on who you're.
How many do we see doing that?
No. So if he's going to be soft tossing you, go up, you can look for it till you get the 2 strikes. I mean, nobody calls you out on strike 1 or 2. You know, so you can. I mean, I saw Brooks do it. Brooks Robinson, the Hall of Famer, Cal, Eddie, Frank, Paul Blair. Until he got beaned, he was the best breaking ball hitter. Because he said, "How do you do that?" He says, "Well, I look for it."
1-0 delivery on the way. Lefty got it in, and Manny's got another hit. So Machado, after striking out the first time, delivers a 1-out single here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, he's not going to throw it by you at 90 to 92. And then right there, if you're again, Manny has such a good swing, he can react to the ball in, which he just did, and cover the outside corner soft. And of course, you have to convince yourself your hitting instructor can't do it for you. I mean, he can tell you what the guy's going to do, what the the tendencies are and whatever, but you have to be able to go up there and commit yourself.
And here is Jonathan Scope. Jonathan hit into a double play his first time up. Machado with the lead at first, and he didn't this time. Way back in left field, and how far will it go? Goodbye home run off the facade of the 3rd deck here in Minnesota. What a charge Scope put into that one, and the Orioles have a 2-1 lead.
Wow, that's a wow factor home run. There it is, 18, hit 25 of them last year. See, 75 for the career. So 113 miles per hour, like maybe a hanging change up or slider, and he just smacked it.
Jonathan Scope, the homer, 500 for Lisa Gilbo, our Maryland lottery contestant, and a lead for the Orioles.
Well, the wind is blowing that way. I mean, we don't play here enough to really know how it's affecting it, but it certainly didn't seem like it hurt it.
Off the bat, you knew that one.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you think that ball probably is somewhere in the 450 range, 450 feet?
Have to be. It's 377 in that power alley.
Well, till it ran to the upper facade. I mean, there it is. It looked like a hanging changeup, and Mejia just slams his glove. Ball is launched. Yeah, so 462 estimated.
Wow.
It's not your estimated departure time, but it's
no.
It's hard to tell when they when it travels about 430 feet and then hits the upper deck.
Yeah. How far it might have gone.
Exactly.
So the Orioles on the 11th home run surrendered by Mejia have a 2-1 lead.
Yeah. Well, Sano, Sano hit it a little bit farther to the right the other day, and they're, in the old park here. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about the Metrodome. That wasn't a park. That was just this enclosed thing that they had for a while. But in Metropolitan Stadium, you used to have a seat up there like they have in Boston. They had the big red seat where Ted Williams hit the ball. Well, they had one in the upper deck where Killebrew did it.
Yep.
And I think he hit 2 in a row off of Jack Sanford. So Jack had that good stuff today to throw him that far.
3 ball, 1 strikeout, backing out Adam Jones. For Jonathan Scope, that is home run number 2 this year against the Twins. Scope's having a good year against the Twins. He is 7 for 21. And Adam will take it away. So after the home run, the first walk surrendered by the left-hander, and still only 1 away. Help support the patients and families at the University of Maryland Medical Center by attending a special fundraising event for Shannon's Fund Friday, August 18 at Oriole Park. Ticket packages begin as low as $50, include a game ticket and an exclusive pregame barbecue. For tickets, Orioles.com/Shannon's Fund. Jones on at first base. Mark Trumbo, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Pitch taken away. So the Orioles have now out-homered the Twins this year 9-4.
Yeah, the one thing about Mejia, he's only had 1 bad outing since the end of April, and that was against Seattle, where he gave up 9 hits, 8 runs in 3 2/3 innings. The rest of the games, he's been able to keep the Twins in the game. We'll see if that happens this afternoon.
0-1 pitch away.
So now you've seen him, and we talked about it. You can see Castro saying keep the shoulder closed. If you're left-handed, you go right, you're going to drop your arm, and the ball's going to run right off the plate. And that's how he got to way outside on that pitch.
Mejia, the long look in. Adam Jones, short lead over there at first. Left-hander's delivery off the fist, popped up, shortstop. And that'll be handled. Trumbo retired. Jones back to the bag. Adrianza going back to get that one. 2 down. Who brought these up? Who brought these up? Somebody not like my diet?
No, they're back again. They were here last year.
Well, we just had these in Toronto. You missed that. What we're talking about are the miniature donuts.
Yeah, but they call them, there's a specific name to them. Well, yeah, actually they're little orbits here, but no, there's a, I mean, we had the official name.
Little orbits.
With a lot of sugar.
See right there?
No
and
wonder.
You can feel the heat coming off.
Wait, yeah.
I mean, these are so fresh.
Oh, they're warm.
Just fried, as I was reminded. Little orbits.
Yes, but in cholesterol-free oil.
Exactly. And that makes all the difference.
See what happens? Scope hits a home run. They actually fell from the upper deck in left field and came right into our booth and put a smile on your face.
Yes, they do. A breaking ball that's going to be fouled off.
I wonder why Bordy was running around Milwaukee. I mean, he still was all sugared out from up in Toronto. So how did they arrive in the booth in Toronto? I mean, internationally?
No, a member of our crew actually went down to the stand where they make them and brought us a bucketful.
So now it's scouting.
That is scout. Well, you got to scout.
Yeah.
Because I, of course, begged on the air for them as I normally do. So they knew they were there. It was just a matter of getting them, and somebody couldn't stand my wailing and gnashing of teeth and went and got them. 0-2 count with 2 down. Runner at first base. Trey Mancini flied out first time up. He'll take it the other way.
Well, I'll tell you what, he looked for something soft, and that was going to be something hit hard to right field.
Trey, now that he qualifies, up there among the leaders. He is 10th in slugging. His road batting average of .324 is 6th best in the American League. He's got the 2nd best average against right-handers at .339. And the runner in scoring position number 1. So Mancini trying to keep the inning going here. He's 304 off at home, rather, and on the road for Mancini a .324 batting average.
Yeah, well, Jason Castro wanted that fastball up underneath his fist, and Mejia didn't want to already get him what 462 feet. So he had nothing to do with it. He missed by about 3 feet.
1 ball, 2 strike count. And way outside, he'd set up, not quite that far out.
Yeah, well, that was just, yeah, he's done that probably on almost half a dozen occasions. Just come out of his windup, and you can see Castro saying, just try to stay closed a little bit more. And for a young pitcher, I mean, only 24, first year in the big leagues. It's easy to get anxious. You know, you want to actually get a result before you throw the pitch. It doesn't work that way.
So Mejia working here in a 2-2. Trey Mancini flied to right first time up. Jones off first base. And a ground ball towards second this time. Dozier will make the play and record the out. But the Orioles get 2 runs. They do it on 2 hits and leave 1. Jonathan Scope delivers his 18th of the year. Machado scores ahead of him 2-1-0. And by Navy Federal, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years, federally insured by NCUA. Orioles up by a score of 2-1. Jonathan Scope, the shortstop today, but still hitting the home runs the same way he did when he was playing second.
Yeah, I got a little message from the West Coast. Beignets. Yes. I knew there was I think exotic name for these little.
Beignets are, if done in the New Orleans style, are a little different. And generally, you can get the plain beignets, and they don't have a hole in the middle, as these do. Or you can get the beignets that have inserted flavors.
Delectable
flavors. Lemon, raspberry, strawberry. There was a place in San Diego in the Lamplight District. It's gone now. They were from New Orleans, and they ran a bakery there, and the best beignets I've ever eaten. I rarely went there, of course, unless I was in San Diego. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and bounces that one.
Well, you need something to place on top of that, that ice cream, that great nut ice cream that you're so fond of. So, Gary, how are you going to spend the All-Star break? Well, I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Go to Maine. Had my fried clam rolls. A slow roller down to third that's going to go foul. So we'll see now if the Orioles can do what they've not been able to do, and that's hold a lead. And it's only a 2-1 ball game, and we're only in the 4th inning.
Well, they couldn't do it Thursday, couldn't do it Friday, didn't have a lead in Milwaukee, unfortunately.
1-2 pitch on the way, and got him in the outside corner, and he knew it.
Yeah, he started walking. Nice little pitch. No pitch count at 64, 38 of them strikes. Again, the end of the day, and you make good pitches. That's perfect outside third of the plate. Hard to do much with that. Oh, make it quarter of the plate on the corner.
So Wade Miley's got 4 strikeouts, 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Buxton reached on a fielder's choice his first time to the plate. Nemesis for the Orioles this year, 7 for 20. He's had a couple of RBIs, scored a half dozen runs. Buxton, Dozier, and both done well against the Orioles this season. That one's going to bounce away off Wellington Castillo.
Well, they made a decision. Obviously, you want your #1 draft choice to succeed, but again, everybody talks about all the different metrics in baseball. I think the Twins said, hey, we're going to the defensive metrics. This guy's going to help us win games. It's kind of like when we had Mark Belanger. One year he hit 287, but the rest of the year it was 229 and maybe 239. But he won 8 Gold Gloves. So
Buxton can chase him down.
Yeah, he really can, and they've worked. James Rowson in his first year as hitting instructor, his swings better. This is the highest he's hit all year. I mean, he started. So again, I mean, there you go with infield hits because he's the speed factor. As you mentioned, 16 out of 17 when it comes to stealing bases.
That's our Jim Coons AL League leaderboard. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. Molly loves having that kind of player because he likes to get things moving on the field offensively and create opportunities. At the minor league level, Buxton hit .302, and that covers some 1,200 at bats. Now at the major league level, came in hitting only .220. He'll put that one down the line in right field. It's headed over to foul territory, and that's where it will end up.
Well, just like when you pitch or you play golf, one swing doesn't work for everybody. So he had a high leg kick. And, they were talking, when you walk over from the hotel, what do? You see Kirby Puckett. And Kirby had that high leg kick. He ended up in the Hall of Fame because he could time it. He could really load on his back leg. But for Buxton, it didn't work. Didn't work for Mookie Betts. So he shortened his swing, and, his second most valuable player last year.
That pitch is going to be inside. Miley thought he might have had a strike on that. That's the first walk. He has surrendered. Let's take a look at our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
Yeah, 6'4", I mean, over 210 pounds. So, I mean, he's had some good years, and it looks like, again, you could see 3rd or 4th year he's worked his way up. And it's good to see him get into AA, so you can see a little bit better competition and see what he does with it. And it looks apparently to me that actually he's handling it pretty well.
Now Jason Castro, shift is put on with only 1 away. The Oriole infield discussing On a ground ball, who's got what? Castro grounded out his first time up on a fine play made by Wade Miley. Tried to bunt his way on against the shift.
Well, he can
Miley
do it again.
stole a hit.
I mean, he can do it again because he knows who's hitting behind him. I mean, that's Brian Dozier, who has home run power. And we saw him on Thursday night. Took a couple of breaking balls off Blyer and then off of Donnie Hart, 2 lefties, and hit the ball right where Manny's playing.
And that one's going to be inside. A lot of discussion in the infield. Manny and Scope in particular helping out their second baseman, Giavotella, as to who's going to be where. Giavotella's in the middle on the right. And he wants to know, all right, who's got second base here? Manny, third baseman, would come across in this case. 2-0 delivery on the way, and it goes right into it. Jonathan Scope. There's Manny. Relay over to first and stayed on the bag, and they turn 2. So Miley faces only 3 here in the 4th inning as the defense helps out from behind. They turn the double play, and the Orioles continue on top in this. th home run. Ball game last night in a Seattle win. Carlos Carrasco, 9 pitches, struck out 3 in the 5th versus the Tigers, completing one of those immaculate innings with the Indians. And George Springer of Houston, 26th, 27th home runs last night. All have been hit from the leadoff spot. That has broken the record that had been held by the Orioles' Brady Anderson of most home runs leadoff spot prior to the All-Star break. It had been 26, set by Brady in 1996. Springer broke the mark last night. 2-1 lead for the Orioles. Game 3 of 4. Mejia with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Orioles, Castillo, Giavotella, and Gentry due up. Castillo flied out to right field first time up. Fly ball pitcher who's had some towering fly balls off him so far in this ball game.
Yeah, the most towering was the 2-run home run by Scope.
It didn't come down.
And yeah, the other one's pretty softly hit.
That one will go to third base. Escobar. One down in the 5th inning. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50, supporting the American Diabetes Association. And the Orioles 215 walks, $10,750. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Giavotella flied out to center field in his first at bat. And the left-hander's delivery will be bounced at the plate. Orioles on this road trip have been outscored 33-13 coming into the ball game. Hoping today get a little bit of that turned in their favor.
Yeah, winning like 4-2.
Yep.
I mean,
Swing and a miss
when you've
changeup.
lost 5 in a row and you're 15-30 on the road, and you know you got 2 more games till you get a little bit of a break to maybe mentally and physically recharge the bat. These are really huge games. We said that last night, and they weren't able to win. But
And right back to starting pitching. Fewer than 6 innings, 23 of the last 27 games for Orioles starters. 23 of 27, less than 6 innings. And their ERA, as we showed you on this road trip's over 11. So Wade Miley is trying to correct that part of it today. Giavatello with a 1-ball 2-strike count.
yeah, soft and got him to swing at a fastball over his head and got that soft fly ball to center. Yeah,
And another one.
Yeah, I think if you want to, kind of like when Paul Blair played center field and Al Bumbry, you want to hit it out there to center field. Take your chances. Buxton will catch it. Tremendous speed.
He's moved over a little towards right and in considerably from where he has played the other hitters. Giavatello waiting on a 1-2. And we'll have to wait a little longer. He is just standing there looking in, so he backed out.
Yeah, where is that 20-second clock?
Delivery will be a bouncer. Giavatello had been with the AAA ball club here before coming up here in Minnesota, hitting .306, 5 home runs, 45 RBIs, 83 games with the Tides this season. The Orioles scouring the minors for offensive numbers and starting pitching. People getting a chance who are doing well. Trouble is, hasn't been enough. Strikeout.
Yeah, perfect changeup. You know, breaking balls, curveballs, sliders coming in at him, and then the changeup. Kind of throws it like a screwball, just turns it over enough, and then location so important. You can see him out in front.
That'll be 4 strikeouts. Mejia's recorded. 2-to-1 ratio, walks to strikeouts.
Yeah, yeah, minor league numbers were terrific as far as not walking a whole lot of guys.
Swinging to right, and catch made. Grossman thought he was going to have to dive for that, but didn't. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 5th. O's on top by 1. The All-Star game, winning streak 3. Junior circuit beat the National League in Cleveland by a score of 4-1. A note on that in a minute. And in 2010, Ubaldo Jimenez, pitching for Colorado, got the victory over the Cardinals and became the first pitcher in 10 years to record 15 wins prior to the All-Star break. Now that All-Star game in 1935 instituted a new rule because Lefty Gomez of the Yankees pitched 6 innings as the starter in that Midsummer Classic. The Yankees weren't real happy about that, so a new rule was instituted that no pitcher could throw more than 3 innings in an all-star game unless it went into extra innings. So that was the beginning of the limitation on starters in the all-star game, and now it's just done automatically.
Yeah, they don't even go that long.
2 innings at most.
First couple, I ended up pitching 3 innings.
And a bouncer from Wade Miley.
Of course, the second year I got to pitch second because Vita Blue was on to, in his rookie year where he won. Well, what he won the Cy Young and the MVP for the Oakland Athletics. Went 24-7.
That'll go to short. Jonathan Scope. High throw. Mancini goes up on the tiptoes and puts that one away. Fans, remember, anytime the Orioles score 4 runs or more, you win free McDonald's Chicken McNuggets. McDonald's, download the app today. Available at Baltimore area McDonald's.
Yeah, and after that throw, Jonathan Scope went over to Manny and said, "Yeah, the ball kind of took off. I think the footwork's going to have to be." Mike Barty could certainly talk a lot more about this, but it looks to me he's going to have to be a little bit in a work on if he's going to play that. A little different footwork from shortstop than at second.
You don't get that great extra second that
Yeah.
you do at second base. At short, you got to get it and get rid of it.
And you can't bobble it. Yeah, you know the way when guys are running hard, it's very hard.
In the air to left field, down the line, curving, and it is going to be a foul ball. Gave it a ride. Escobar 0 for 2, struck out, flied out. Escobar's really turned it on here at home of late, where the team's in the middle of the pack offensively in home numbers. Escobar's ground ball, that'll go to short again, get another chance. Then he got rid of it quicker that time and had to with Escobar running.
Yeah, you got to know your hitters. They always say that shortstops, you can kind of pick your hop unless you have the speedsters. But that was totally. I mean, just kind of changed it. Again, I mean, what, 2013 Fall League? That's pretty much the last time that Jonathan Scope played shortstop.
So Wade Miley, two down here in the 5th.
So what do you do here? You talked about it. Came in 1 for 1 with a home run, single home run today. Got a 1-run lead at open base with 2 outs. Let's see if he gets anything to hit.
Sano with Grossman waiting on deck. 2 down though, and the pitch will be inside to him. Sano, as you would expect, with the power that he's had up there among the leaders, he comes in now with 20 home runs, tied for 7th in the league. 21. Judge with 30, leading the American League. Sano's got 62 RBIs. That's good for 3rd. It's Cruz 68, Judge 66, Sano 62. Top 3 in the league. Turns it over outside. Quickly 3-0. Here they are before the last pitch. Getting your feet moving in the infield, so you're ready to go.
And you try to time it right when the ball is going to be in the hitting zone, and there's your forewarned walk. Kind of a pitch around.
2 walks in the ball game. This one with 2 down. Didn't want any part of Sano on that at bat. So that'll bring Grossman up. Grossman 2 singles. He'd come in 0 for 2 against Wade Miley.
Yeah, both on fastballs, both back up the middle.
And the pitch taken, I think, vying for the shortest lead in Major League Baseball when on first base is Sano.
You mean the 2.5-step lead not existed?
He's not even off the back. He could just reach out without moving the other foot and touch it. Foul back. He is not fleet of foot and obviously worried about not getting back to the bag, so he just stays there. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Outstanding start so far for Wade Miley. You get through the 5th inning, and that pitch will be taken again, leaning out and over, and a 2 ball, 1 strikeout. 2-1, 2 down. And that pitch is going to miss. Little hop on his follow through there on the drop spot. 3 ball, 1 strike count on Grossman.
Well, that's what he does. You know, we talked about his plate discipline. He works the count. Hasn't yet hit a home run from this side of the plate. Certainly benefits it when you can. Most likely, I mean, right here you got a luxury looking fastball, and he's done it and gotten 2 hits.
He's really stung the Orioles this year. He's one of that grouping of twins to have hit the Orioles pretty well and keep his on base percentage up. 326 lifetime average against the Orioles. And took it, and he's on. So back-to-back walks.
See, I mean, that's the appropriate pitch to an aggressive hitter, but Robbie Grossman's not. You know, he's a back up the middle guy, so he just says, nope, I'll just take the walk. And now I have the potential tie and run and go ahead run at second and first.
And Vargas with power coming up. Has struck out and delivered a base hit. Vargas getting a look at Miley for the first time in this ball game. Joe Mauer missing this series, back problems, will be out and get the extra rest during the All-Star break. Paul Molitor said no need to push. With the All-Star break coming, I wanted to give him as long a rest as I could get in for him, so he will not play in these 4 games. Vargas takes the pitch for a strike. Switch hitter, just a $143 off left-handers, 280 off righties. Miley trying to make that work in his favor. Delivery by the left-hander, shattered bat. Ooh, that caught Miley. Play by Scope off the bag tag put on. The barrel of that bat may have hit Wade Miley. I mean,
yeah,
that was one of those with the sharp end coming right at him on the mound.
And a couple of line drives got him out of the game against the Cubbies.
Watch the barrel here. It got him somewhere off that foot when he gets out of the inning. Busted bat. That caught him in the knee and cut his knee through his pants. It bounced up right there, and it was the sharp end, and it hit right on the front of the knee. Wow.
Yeah, again, he splinters it. Yeah, great pitch, breaks the bat, and implodes at the plate, and part of it gets him.
There it is, right there in the knee.
Well, he's a hunter.
Doesn't mean you want to get shot.
No, no.
That one goes down the line. It'll roll into the corner all the way by, and the Orioles get a double, and that's where he'll stop. Hard hit ball by Joey Rickard, who's now got a double, single, and 3 times up. And that one missed the facade on the stands there and kept going. Rosario had to chase it down.
Yeah, again, you know, tries to get a fastball by him, and it's hard to do because Joey can hit the heater. And bunt base hit to start the game, and now a double. The Orioles trying to add more runs here in the 6th.
Second leadoff batter to be on for the Orioles. Joey Rickard gets it done, and now Manny Machado will try and get him home. Manny carrying the hot bat in this series. Picking up the base hit, scored ahead of Jonathan Scope on the home run in the 4th inning. Bunting down the line and just foul.
Oh, that's not a bad play. You know, he did it in Milwaukee early in the ball game. In fact, the 1st inning after Rickard got on and bunted it right back to the pitcher. But here, spun for a base hit. You know, either get it down the line, get the runner over, would accomplish both of them, because if it's on the grass, he gets himself a base hit. So, kind of like that kind of strategy. Either that or take a shot to right.
Manny's extended his hit streak to 5 games with the base hit that he got in the 4th inning. So Machado, during the 5-game hit streak now, has gone 8 for 20. A couple of home runs and 4 RBIs during the streak.
And Mejia's going to try to, you know, maybe a little bit of soft to get him to roll over, hit it to the left side so you can't advance the runner.
Here's the 0-1 delivery. Mejia's pitch will miss inside, and that one just scooped out by Castro. Well, hitting in this ballpark, Manny right there. Altuve's got the all-time mark for a visitor in this yard. Cespedes, David Ortiz, and now Manny coming in at 410. Manny has gone 8 for 23 this year. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs against Minnesota. Down to third. That sizzled on through Escobar. That'll get a run in. Rickard will come around to score. Manny's on his way to second base. He'll slide in with a double and an RBI, and the Orioles have a 3-1 lead.
Well, there you go. What do you say to the bartender? Couple of doubles, please. And that's what the Orioles get here in the 6th. If you're
so inclined.
Yes, exactly. A bullet. Rosario can't even flag it down, and one to his right, now one to his left. It hit so hard that the left fielder can't even get to it before it gets by him.
So the Orioles, 3 runs on 4 hits off Mejia. Jonathan Scope, the big blast, 18th home run, 4th inning. He will take the pitch inside for a ball. Boy, Manny's bat coming alive. You may be sorry to see the All-Star break coming. Likes the time off, but when you get hot, you want to get right back out there on the field. And right now, Manny is sizzling at the plate. Still nobody out. 0-1, back-to-back doubles by Rickard and Machado. And a breaking ball down low. It was the Orioles' first chance with a runner in scoring position in the ballgame, and they take advantage of it. Scope in these situations, a .362 batting average. Jonathan down to first base. Handled. Vargas to the bag. That'll move the runner up.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, it's kind of giving yourself up. I think the intention was not to make it out, but to get him over and maybe get a runner in too. But couldn't do that.
A lot more ways to score.
Right.
After the home game against the Cubs on July 16, the kids run the bases, presented by Wise Markets. 4-14. You can run the bases just like your favorite birds. Tickets Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. And it forces the infield in, giving the advantage to Adam Jones.
Yeah, Koo once again. I mean, first time he flailed at a couple of break-in pitches. Now all of a sudden, pretty much, you know, Mejia knows what he wants to do. Get one over the infield, hit a fly ball, and he's going to try to keep him from doing that.
Almost buried that one. Good stop made by Castro.
But as you mentioned, Mejia, a fly ball pitcher, and the advantage goes to Adam Jones as long as he's disciplined and he makes him, you know, throw what Adam wants to hit, not his pitch early in the count.
Adam a walk, and he is struck out. The Orioles have 3 of the top 10 averages with runners in scoring position. Trey Mancini's number 1. Adam is 5. Scope is 7 in the league. 1-0 pitch. Adam will take that one inside as well.
Yeah, nobody up in their bullpen that I can see, and of course you get Trumbo on deck. So
opponents have hit only a $173 off Mejia with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, and he really hasn't. Yeah,
they're going to put him on.
Yeah, he hadn't thrown a lot of pitches, only 71, 43 strikes.
Well, interesting, setting up the potential double play on the intentional pass with 1 down.
Yeah, I think the minute he went 2-0, and Paul Molitor sends out Neil Allen, longtime pitching coach, very good pitcher in his own right. So what do we want to do? You know what Trumbo wants to do: get a ball in the air, maybe more.
You're asking your pitcher to do a lot right here. When you walk Jones to get to Trumbo.
Well, again, I mean, you know what the theory is. Sitting at home, you're going, well, didn't this guy lead the American League or the major leagues in home runs last year? Yes, the answer is yes, but with 1 pitch, maybe you get a double play ball.
Mark has only hit into 5 ground ball double plays this year. Not many.
Yeah, and that's where your secondary leads, especially for Adam Jones, who always he's a very good base runner. I mean, not a base stealer, but he's going to get a big lead, try to break up a double play. And
so big moment here in the top of the 6th inning. Orioles leading it 3-1. Trumbo has popped out and struck out. 1st and 3rd. Goes right after it. And it goes off the glove into left field. Run will score. Throw will, well, it'll be run back in by Rosario. And Trumbo is on, and the Orioles add to it. That ball, they thought they were going to get a double play on, but they tried it before they had caught it. And Manny Machado scores.
Yeah, Rosario catches it. It's going to be 2. You know, again, it's hard infield. Tries to pick the short hop. You know, he's playing even with the bag because he wants to be able to turn the double play. And then, as it turns out, the Orioles take advantage of it. So now 2 runs here in the 6th.
So they're going to call an error.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, still gets, well, I guess you still get an RBI.
That'll be fouled off. So Mark Trumbo comes through, and the intentional pass cost them. And the Orioles add to their lead now with 4 runs on 5 hits. Runner in scoring position numbers of the long ball, Trey Mancini. Leading hitter, as we said, in that department in the league. 1st and 2nd for the Orioles. Mancini a little roller to short. Andrianza goes 2nd, 1. No play at first base. So they will get the force out. Mancini will reach on the fielder's choice. Trumbo taken out on the play at second base.
Yeah, Mejia gets him all day and you could see him kind of shaking his head. He got him once again on something soft, and again he's hitting that well. You have to try to make an adjustment, and for Mejia it's a pretty good matchup with Mancini because he's such a good fastball hitter and he can change speeds.
So the bullpen active for the first time, and Mejia making start number 13, working here in the 6th inning. Not been bad, just not good enough. Wade Miley's been better, and the Orioles have done the chipping away in this game. Here is Wellington Castillo, 1st and 3rd. There are 2 away. The Orioles 2 runs in here in the 6th inning. Manny Machado, the RBI double. Trumbo on the fielder's choice and the error. Charged to Escobar at 3rd. 0-1 count. Runners off 1st and 3rd, and trying to go for the outside corner and missed it.
Yeah, 94. Most velocity all day. Yeah, it has been a struggle for Castillo. His last double is, you know, back in April. He's gone almost 135 at bats without. I mean, did hit a couple home runs in Chicago, but the extra base hits very sparse.
0 for 2 in this ball game, 1 for 6 in the series. Tags it deep, but it's foul. there in the standing room only deck. Right over number 42. One ball, 2 strike count. Orioles with 4 runs, 5 hits. The Twins a run on 6 hits. Looking for a 2-out RBI. Trey Mancini not likely to be going. Mejia ready with a delivery, and that's going to be outside. You saw the real good numbers for Wellington Castillo with runners in scoring position. He also has been one of those that's pumped up the 2-out RBI number. He's hitting .357. He's gone 5 for 14. 2 down runners in scoring position. The Orioles have been first in that department virtually all year as a team, hitting .280. 2 ball, 2 strike count. His delivery to him, and I do believe he went. That'll be the 5th strikeout recorded, but the Orioles are going to get a couple of runs here in the 6th inning and extend their lead 4-1. Back here at Target Field in Minneapolis. Talked about what a great ballpark this is, and for hitters, it's been a real good one this year.
Oh, yeah.
Especially Manny. RBI double, single. He scored 2, driven in 1 today. And Wade Miley, one of his better performances so far, has gone through 5, giving up just the 1 run on 6 hits.
Well, one of the keys was give him length. You can see 91 pitches. Yeah, not that many more strikes than balls, but what he's been able to do all 5 innings, got the leadoff batter on, and then he's gotten a little bit of trouble, been able to, other than the Sano home run, pitch out of it.
He's got Rosario a couple of times on ground ball outs, and will foul that one off and quickly ahead of him. 2 strikes. Rosario not very happy with the last cut that he took.
Well, part of a good, the good left-handers, I learned that from Mike Flanagan when he became from a starter to a reliever, was that they good left-handed hitters, and Rosario hits lefties well. They're covering the outside corner, the 2-seam fastball, which is what he just tried to hit. Tough to handle, and then there he just misses on the outside corner. So That same two-seam fastball that can be effective to right-handed hitters, and maybe get a ground ball to the right side, works against lefties, especially with 2 strikes. You can see him hanging out over the plate.
Rosario goes down to first base, fair ball. It'll be played to the bag by Mancini. Unassisted for the out. Watch live Q&As with your favorite Orioles, game previews, and interactive interviews on MASN All Access. You can check out the social media show on MASN Orioles Facebook Live, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Join in for the fun. MASN All Access.
There you go. I love your handle. Just ask Gary.
Good. You can find me.
I can't right now. You're right over by the Benoit's. No, the vignettes. I know where you are today.
Joaquin Benoit vignettes. Yes.
Yeah.
I still have the black A&T telephone sitting on the table just inside the front room door. Adrian's at the plate. This is the 27-year-old out of Venezuela. He's 1 for 2 today. Picked up a base hit, switch hitting shortstop. Also been called out on strikes. And we'll take the pitch inside.
Yeah, they get him on waivers, and their Twins coming off 103 losses last year. They get to pick way up on the list.
Breaking ball away. That one's going to bounce. And a 3-ball, 1-strike count. Adrianza getting playing chances with a big club here this year. He's been in 28 games, closing in on 60 at bats, 9 RBIs and limited at bats for him. And a ground ball to short. Scope again. And there are 2 down. 2 away, nobody on. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Aaron O'Day for the O's.
Well, one of the coaches, Eddie Guardado, they called him Everyday Eddie because he pitched so much. Well, Darren, if he pitches tonight, that'll be 3 straight games here. Healthy, on a roll.
That one to the hole. Going to try and get him on a hop. Not in time. Ball will get away. Runner will stay. And Buxton is on with another base hit.
Yeah, Jonathan Scope saying there's no way if I actually catch it and set my feet, even though he's got about as strong as arm as there is in baseball. But again, he's pretty good range. You can see him try to get the feet set we showed you early, and then the heave over there. Buxton's just going to outrun it. Too much speed.
So Buxton keeps his streak alive. A 5-game hit streak for him. 1 for 2 in the ball game, 8 for 21 on the year against the O's. And the shift moved on. The closer you can get Manny Machado to Jonathan Scope, the more wonderful stories you'll have to tell as they constantly chat with one another. Well, and Manny letting him have it on that throw.
I'm kind of interested to see whether Castro, who tried to bunt his way on and got thrown out by a great play, might do it again.
Throw over to get him back. Maybe see if he showed bunt. He did not.
You're inviting him to do it.
Yeah, Castro, number 9 hitter, 0 for 2, only because Miley made that great play on him on first at bat on the attempted bunt third base side.
Well, he also average wise, not power wise. I mean, he's 50 points higher hitting against lefties.
Big cut.
You know, his 6 home runs, 5 of them when he's hitting right-handed against right-handers.
The Orioles in this shift put Jonathan Scope with a stronger arm way out there in right field, where he'd normally be if he was playing second. Giovatello stays in at second base. Castro, the 0-1 delivery to him. That's going to be taken down low.
Yeah, and I would imagine, Wade Miley able to get Castro out, he will complete the 6 innings. Otherwise, you'll probably see Darren O'Day against Brian Dozier. Plenty of time to get loose in the Oriole bullpen. And there is the shift.
Castro's not had a hit against Miley in his career. He's 0 for 8. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. And that's going to miss inside. Miley's walked 3, struck out 5. Twins have left 7 on base so far in this game. 3 of those in scoring position. Pretty good lead for Buxton. They don't want to make the final out on the base paths here. Pitch on the way and foul back. So Miley comes back on him at 2-2.
Yeah, those are used pitches. I figure, wow, it's a 4-1 lead, but no, the difference was going 3-1, and then you got to pitch a little bit more to the scoreboard. You still have one pitch right here. You don't have to give in to the hitter. You don't have to throw a strike. Throw one either to get him out or something close enough to get him to chase.
Veteran catcher waiting and will take the pitch inside. So we go full. That will send Buxton from first base. Orioles don't want to give the speedster any bigger lead, so Trey Mancini will still hold him on the 3-2 with 2 down.
Yeah, and it also takes the double away by doing that.
Let you guard the line and hold the runner at the same time. 3-2 pitch, and there he got one where they weren't. Making the turn, Buxton. Buxton's going to take a look at home, but he'll stop as Rickard gets it in a hurry. So he didn't bunt that way, but he did hit it that way and ends up with a single. Castro on.
Yeah, got to throw him a strike once you go to 3-2, and then, like we said, better average hitter. This is the 3rd hit he's got against lefties in the series. 2 on Thursday night, and then 1 this afternoon.
So that will be it for Wade Miley. He will work 5 2/3 innings. Darren O'Day will come on. Dozier will be up. Runners at first and third.
This play right here, Castro trying to bunt his way on. Bang, bang, great play. And then the double play when you need it to get out of an inning. Able to do that. Orioles turned to 2. And then Jonathan Scope, after the Sano home run, hits a 2-run shot off the facade 462 feet away. After a double by Rickard, Manning with his 5th RBI of the last 2 nights. So there's Wade Miley. Those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. So Miley does his job. He leaves with a 4-1 lead. A couple of guys on, and Darren O'Day comes on. Inning in the 3rd last night, a 1/3 of an inning the night before, and then also pitched once in Milwaukee.
Dozier is 0 for 8 lifetime against Darren O'Day. 1st and 3rd, and 2 down. O'Day's first pitch will get you off the plate.
Well, he's looking away, and the ball, I mean, it's in, but it's not that in. When you're diving, the combination of the two. I mean, look, I mean, that it's up, but it's what, about 2 inches off the plate, and of course he's trying to protect away. When you're 0 for 8, you're trying to hang in there, and the Twins got a home run guy to the plate.
1st and 3rd, base runners, and inside again. Third base, Buxton with a base hit. Castro is single. Both coming with 2 down.
A very efficient inning and a third last night for Darren O'Day, but it still is back-to-back performances. And again, 16 pitches. And again, the guy at the plate, pull hitter with power, hit 42 home runs last year.
2-0 count with 2 down. O'Day's delivery to him. He'll take that, and it missed. Thought he had it in there. Count goes 3-0. You got Escobar waiting on deck. O'Day has worked 3 previous games this year against the Twins. 2 2/3 innings, and he has given up nothing and struck out 7. So a big moment here for the Twins, who have had people on base. But unlike last night, 7 for 13 runners in scoring position, they've not been able to get the big hits in this one yet. 3-0 delivery on the way and hit him.
Well, right out of the, this is not Darren O'Day. Not that he hit him, but 4 straight balls. They could boo, but they just loaded the bases up. It's a big play right there. Darren trying to get back in the count, but it's a guy coming off shoulder problems. So back-to-back days. And again, kind of have to wonder right now if maybe not feeling 100%.
Escobar will be coming to the plate with the bases loaded. Escobar 0 for 3 off O'Day. That one got Dozier pretty good down there at first base. Walked it off.
Well, this has, at least for the Twins, been a series of the first 2 games, a big inning. 6 runs on Thursday, 5 last night, and the Orioles are trying to stay out of that situation again here in the 6th.
Sacks full, 2 down. Escobar 0 for 3. Way outside.
Yeah. This is not the Darren O'Day we've seen.
Escobar with a 1 for 4 with the sacks loaded, base hit this year. One-0 delivery on the way to him. Escobar checks it. It's a strike on the inside corner.
Yep. He get the big triple on Thursday night off of Dylan Bundy. Hit a change up off the corner of the signage out in right center field for a triple.
One ball, 1 strike. Pitch on the way by O'Day and rip foul. They got way around on that one and turned it hard, but foul. O'Day will get ahead of him. A ball and 2 strikes. Smiley got the first 2 outs. Smiley got Rosario, Adrianza, and Buxton the single. Castro the single. Dozier hit by a pitch. And now Escobar 1 and 2. Delivery by the right-hander, and he started, and did he stop?
Yeah, how did he lay off that pitch?
Jim Reynolds at third.
I don't think he swung, but I just figured, I mean, this ball, you can see right at the Twins, a bit high for the modern day strike zone, and he lays off it somehow. Pretty good at take right there for the young hitter.
Two and 2. Day's delivery to him. Escobar will foul it back and out of play. So that will bring Wellington Castillo out. Ian O'Day will confer on what they want to throw here on this 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, first year for Wellington Castillo, veteran pitcher like O'Day. He's pretty much going to be saying, this is what I want to do. This is what I think I can do. For most guys, you don't want to go in 3 and 2, but for him, at least over the course of his career, it hasn't mattered. Quality pitches, whatever the count.
Orioles lead at 4-1. Twins with the bases loaded and a 2-2 delivery. And he gets him. So O'Day strikes out Escobar. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and the Twins leave the bases loaded. 6 complete. Orioles on top, 4-1. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, the Yankees getting back on the winning track, break out of a 3-game losing streak. Another one of their youngsters, Frazier, the walk-off 3-run dinger, 5-3. The Blue Jays get a victory over the Astros, 7-2. Donaldson with a 3-run homer in that one. And the Red Sox and Rays just getting going. Porcello a win in his last 5. Rick Porcello making the start in the ball game for Boston. So the Twins with a great chance. Orioles shut it down as O'Day came on to get a big out.
Did he ever? Well, I guess he figured, as you mentioned, Dozier, 0 for 8. He was due. I'll just drill him in the knee, get him out of there, load him up, and then get Escobar to strike out, who had a toughie. He hung in there, too.
So the Orioles maintain the 4-1 lead. 8 hits on the board for the Twins, 5 for the Orioles. And the pitch taken away. So that's 10 left on base by the Twins today. Giavotella. He has flied out, struck out. Mejia stays on. He's gone the distance. 2 walks, 1 intentional, and 5 strikeouts in the ball game. Belisle's second action the Twins have had in their bullpen. Gentry and then Rickert are due up. Michael Givens getting ready for the Orioles. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's hit hard to third. Backhanded. Escobar picks it up and got him. Close play at first base. Ball hit so hard. You got a second chance at third.
Yeah, this ball smoked and does throw him out. Big target over there at Vargas.
So 1 away here in the 7th inning. That'll bring Gentry to the plate. Craig has grounded out and flied out. Lefty's delivered to him. Will be in there for a strike. Gentry getting the start in right field, being used against the left-handers as was anticipated for the Orioles. And for Gentry, not a lot of at-bats, only 33 at-bats against left-handers, and he's had only 5 hits. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery, bunting for a base hit, fouls it off at the plate.
Yeah, Mejia still hanging around. Only 85 pitches. Really, you go back, it's probably like 3 pitches all afternoon that's done him in. It looked like the changeup that Scope hit on the facade, and then a couple of doubles, Rickard and Machado.
1-2. Delivery to Gentry, and that'll be inside for a ball. Orioles trying to get out of the 5-game losing streak they are in. Give themselves a chance tomorrow to go 2-2 on the 4-game set here against Minnesota. Two pitch, and that one's going to bounce. So Mejia may be close to the end. A little more of those pitches going all over the place. Last couple of innings.
Yeah, maxed out at 104 last start against the Angels, and that was actually 102 pitches in 7 innings.
And a walk. So with 1 away, the Orioles pick up their 3rd walk of the ball game. Talking about the streaks this season, last season, compare 4-game win streak, couple this year, only 1 last year. The 5-game win streak, none this year. 1 6-game win streak this season. The 7-game win streaks, the Orioles had 3 of them last year, none so far. 5-game losing streaks, 3 this year.
Yeah, that's where you
and
get
2
in trouble,
last year.
and that's where you're starting pitching. When you have good starting pitching, it's hard to have extended losing streaks. Even though I will say last year the Orioles won the World Series was his 1983. They had 2 7-game losing streaks, which was very unusual in a team that wins in the mid-90s.
Pitch taken on the outside corner for a strike. Joey Rickard has contributed a double in the 6th inning, single in the 1st, 2 for 3 scored on the RBI by Manny Machado. They had back-to-back doubles in the 6th. Jonathan Scope, the 2-run homer in the 4th. Those are the Orioles' 4 runs. Ball gets away. Orioles will get a break on this one. Gentry looking to 3rd, just kept right on going. Here's the throw off the mark, and it'll be a 2-base error, allowing Gentry to go to 3rd.
Well, you walk him, and then all of a sudden, and the Orioles don't have a lot of it, Rickard and now Gentry, 2 guys that can run, and that is great base running because, again, you have a sense, when you've been healthy, this is what you did for the Rangers. So there's the throw into the runner, and then right here doesn't even hesitate. Takes 1 look over his shoulder, and he knows that Vargas is going to have to make a perfect throw, and he does it. And Bobby Dickerson right there to tell him, hey, what he needs to do at 3rd base.
And the infield will move in.
Yeah, I think they didn't bring in Belisle because they didn't want him to steal a base, and they figured, Mejia would hold him on, and then as it turns out, he throws it away for a 2-base error.
So Joey Rickard gets the opportunity for the Orioles, and a little roller that will be foul outside of 3rd base. 2-strike count on Rickard. A couple of errors have been committed in the ball game that have mattered by the Twins, helping the Orioles out in the 2-run 4th inning. Rather the 6th inning, 2-run 6th. 0-2 the count. And Mejia's delivery to him. In back with that off-speed pitch.
Well, the one thing for a young kid, I mean, his numbers of 173 with runners in scoring position are very, very low. About 80 points lower than the league average. Makes a great pitch. And then of all the Oriole hitters, Joey Rickard, the least experienced, has the lowest runner in scoring position number. Unable to get the ball into the air and make contact.
So that will be it for the starter, and they'll go to the bullpen with 2 down.
early lead. The 1-0 lead, can't hold it. So again, pretty efficient, and he's Gentry on third. He's responsible for it. Now our Jiffy Lube pitching change, brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. So Matt Belisle, the fastball curveball pitcher, saw him last night. And again, veteran guy, 37 years old. And again, one of those guys, Scott Coolbaugh says, very much more comfortable if you look at the high ERA of pitching away, but he can get you out with a hook, which is what he does. Actually had a pretty good fastball last night. The average one's around 91 to 92, but he was at 94 last night.
Runner at third, and Manny Machado trying to bring him in. There are 2 down. Manny's gone 2 for 4 against Belisle in his career. The single, double, RBI, 2 runs scored, 2 for 3 in the game. 7 for 13 in the series now with 5 RBIs. Manny will take a breaking ball from Belisle away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And so what Scott was, the Coolbaugh, the hitting instructor for the Orioles, was saying, hey, until you get to 2 strikes, give him the inside part of the plate and look away.
1-1 delivery on the way, and that one breaking away, fouled off, cued off the end. So Manny with a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles trying to not only break their losing streak, but Mejia had come in with a 3-game win streak. He leaves the ball game as the pitcher of record on the losing side. 1-2 on Machado. Gentry reached on the walk, moved to third on the 2-base throwing error by the pitcher.
Yeah, so a couple of sliders and a curveball.
Bashir's up for the 2nd time for the Twins.
We saw him last night. He never got in the game.
Right-hander, the look to third, and the 1-2. And he will take it up high.
Yeah, exactly where Jason Castro wanted it, behind the plate. Wouldn't chase.
Orioles are 1 for 6. Runners in scoring position today. That's as many chances as they had in the ball game last night when they got a couple of hits. 2-2 to Machado. Belisle's delivery almost ticked the jersey inside.
Yeah, but see, no command there. And then, yeah, last night it was a home run show for the Orioles with 3 home runs, and Manny getting 4 of those RBIs on his 2 home runs. You come in these situations, you cannot afford to give up another run. You got 2 open bases. You know how good Machado is. And if you don't get him out, even though Scopes hit a home run, you pitch to him on deck.
3-2 delivery on the way to Manny, and walked it. So the Orioles have the corners covered for Jonathan Schoop and our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Well, down 1-0 until this swing, and this ball goes 462 feet. Somebody waved at it in the upper deck. And I don't mean the mezzanine, I mean the upper deck.
So a chance for more RBIs for Jonathan. Hit into a double play, grounded out, in addition to the 18th home run. Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer, 7 straight years. Come see why. LexusofTowson.com. Got another one to drive right there and fouls it back.
Yeah, well, there's a term in baseball where you leave earth. Both feet come off the ground. That was one of those swings.
Schoop an 0 for 2 off Belisle.
And there is Scott Coolbaugh.
A 1 delivery on the way. Belisle again is going to miss outside with it. Jonathan still up there among the leaders in 2 baggers, tied for 6th starting the day in the American League. His 40 extra base hits rank 8th in the American League. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him, and then we put him in the air to right. Backing Grossman up under it, and he's gone. So Bilal comes on and gets it done. Orioles will leave a couple on base. 7th inning stretch time. Orioles 4, Twins 1. Game 4 of this series, Ubaldo Jimenez and Kyle Gibson. Our coverage on MASN 2, 1:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep. Game coverage will be at 2. All the access you need right here on MASN. Orioles have the 4-1 lead in Game 3.
Another blowing year for Michael Givens. Pitched an inning, a couple of strikeouts on Thursday night. He's getting both righties and lefties out this year. 6 home runs. Did give up a home run in the Tampa series, but he's done a great job trying to hold a 4-1 lead here.
And the pitch will be taken inside by Sano. Delivered his 21st home run in the 3rd inning. He's also singled and drawn a walk. Michael Givens working in the bottom half of the 7th. Good job by starter Wade Miley, who went 5 2/3, a run on 8 hits. O'Day a 1/3 of an inning to get the final out in the 6th. And now Givens, as the Orioles get a ball game finally where they want it to be, to have this part of the bullpen working this part of the game. Sano going for the downs.
Yeah, looking fastball, getting fastball, and can't quite get to 96. It was in just enough where he couldn't get his arms extended. Yeah, I was surprised. How about the 2 plays he made last night? DH in this afternoon, but how about the 2 plays at 3rd, the quickness?
You do not think him that quick when you look at his size.
And a really good arm. You could see, I mean, what you were talking about, what's signed for $3 million when he was, what, 16, I think, just turned 17. Obviously not this big back then, but see the skill set.
3 ball, 2 strike count for Michael Givens. Givens is tied for first among major league relievers with the 6 wins this year. Leads all the Orioles bullpen with 41 strikeouts. And a foul tip into the mitt will get him.
Yep, chase ball 4. Again, don't have a whole lot of time in 98. You establish at least the velocity of your fastball. Sano strikes out a lot. I mean, that's 119 strikeout. And the ball in enough and out of the zone enough, you can't catch up to it.
Robbie Grossman against Givens, couple of singles and a walk. One down, bottom of the 7th. Givens delivery outside for a ball. Givens over the last 15 appearances, a .96 earned run average. A couple of earned runs in the last 19 innings that he's pitched. A lot of swings and misses like that.
Well, he's got that kind of stuff. And, 3 pitches. I always thought that his second pitch, or at least the one that he had when he converted from an infielder to a pitcher, was the slider, but that was down the list. He was a fastball changeup guy that added the slider. And there's a fastball for a strike. Yep. Yeah, he just sometimes gets in trouble, and the command goes when he's a leg swinger. Sometimes the leg swings a little bit too much, and you just lose your alignment to home plate, and that's where you get in trouble.
That one up. Tips off the glove. And the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's done a nice job of controlling that windup, and right there, maybe you find out what the pitch to Sano was 98. He overthrew that one. It was only 95. So you find a happy medium with your windup.
And he'll get one down at the knees for the strikeout.
There's the changeup. So you throw what, 11, 12 miles per hour slower, and Bobby Grossman way out in front. Kind of hops back to the dugout. Got Drick. Perfect pitch.
2 Ks in the 7th inning. Vargas a base hit, 1 for 3. Twins first baseman, switch hitter. Givens the kick and the throw will be a little bit outside. Toronto's won their ball game today with a 7-2 victory over Houston. Shattered bat. Wow. Barrel went all the way to right field. And Mancini able to get it. Fine outing again by Givens. He retires the side in order. Orioles up. By Chesapeake Employers Insurance, your workers' compensation insurance company, and by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to midatlanticcomfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. Now the Orioles got a lead, hanging on to it, controlling the ball game with a 4-1 lead. Belisle out of their third of an inning gave up a walk. Deep to the pen they go.
Yeah, Buddy Boshiers comes in a couple of years ago. Boshiers actually a couple of years ago in independent league. So finesse left-hander. He got 3 pitches: fastball, curveball, and a changeup, right around 90. So he's been up and down for the Twins this year.
He's not worked since the 1st of July against Kansas City at the major league level. 2 stints with the ball club this year. out of Huntsville, Alabama. Just turned 30 years old a month ago. Adam Jones leads it off against him. Adam will take it in there for a strike. Home run. Sano got it in the 3rd inning. That's the only run Twins have been able to put up on the board. They have stranded 10 in the ball game. As Miley worked his way around a couple of problems, and the Twins 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. While the Orioles have not had as many chances, being out hit 8-5. Orioles able to get to Mejia with some big hits, including the home run Scope for 2, Machado RBI. That ball will go to second base. Dozier backing up on it, makes the play on Jones. Well, lock in your Birdland summer and reserve your seats for upcoming promotions, including the infielders bottle stopper set. Jonathan Scope bobblehead presented by Ocean City, Maryland. 25th anniversary Oriole Park, replica ballpark, and more. Tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Mark Trumbo. Struck out, popped out. Reached on a fielder's choice. An error. Fielder's choice error that was charged in the 4th inning to Escobar on a hard hit ball that went by at third base.
Yeah, it was one of those balls he tried to short hop and probably could have been scored either way, but the Orioles get an extra run.
Bashir's pitch will miss outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Left-hander's 1-1 delivery, and Trumbo will watch that one go away.
Yeah, you can see right over the top, and then the little screwball. That's what he got Adam Jones to bounce out on. I mean, you can do it. I mean, fastballs inside to the righties and change-ups down and away. That can be pretty effective.
Two-one delivery.
And then you hook them, and then you get into the fastball counts, and you throw the overhand curveball. So Mark's seen all of them. He just didn't know when they're coming. This could be a pretty good curveball.
One of those 12-6 jobs.
Yeah. I wonder how good that independent team he was pitching for a couple of years ago. The Atlantic League in Somerset, and he was the reliever of the year that year.
Good place to spend the summer.
Well,
pitchers take it inside.
I mean, they're great stories. When I know you had the rain delay, and you were talking with Mike Bordick about guys that come out of the independent league. I mean, Brandon Kinsler's going to the All-Star game, the real All-Star game. Back in I think 2009, he started the independent league All-Star game.
Trumbo got a hold of it. It is back in left field at the wall, and goodbye home run. Mark Trumbo on a 3-2 delivery. Delivers the long ball, and that's number 14 for him. And the Orioles extend their lead to 5-1.
Yeah, when he hits them, there are a lot of no doubt about him. I mean, it's not a Jonathan Scope type home run off the facade in the 3rd deck here, but right off the bat, you know that ball's sailing out of here. And that gives the Orioles a 4-1 lead going into the bottom of the 8th.
So for Mark Trumbo, home run number 14, a 2 RBI ball game for the Oriole DHs. He's got a 7-game hit streak now. And the Orioles using the long ball.
I'll take a look right here, and there's that hook again. So he saw one, and it was a good one, and the second one sails out of here.
Lisa Gilbo, our Maryland lottery contestant, with 2 home runs today, 500 each. And the pitch taken away by Trey Mancini. Mancini 0 for 3, 4 hits, 11 at bats in the series against the Twins. Trey's had a couple of RBIs against Minnesota this year. He'll put one right through the box,
Well,
right over the top of the glove.
What did you talk about? I mean, you were talking about earlier. It just seems like every day he seems to get a hit, and Mejia did a nice job, soft, 0 for 3, rolling over on balls, and then it just seems like he makes that adjustment, game in and game out.
Yep, for a rookie player, it's phenomenal how he appears to be able to do that.
Well, you've seen a lot of great players, and I played with some, and you know the ones that are going to be good, they do not give away at bats. Doesn't matter what they're hitting or whatever. I mean, it's full tilt.
So the Orioles have 7 hits in the ball game. Castillo up. Trey Mancini extending his hit streak now to 6 games, and Mancini is hitting over 400 during that streak. Castillo an 0 for 3 in the ball game. Wellington with 1 down, runner on at first base. Over the top, fouled straight back into the screen. Philip Hughes.
I've been having some. Well, he had some problems last year. He got hit and broke his leg, so they're going to use him out of the bullpen.
Wellington, Castillo trying to keep the inning going here with 1 away, 0-2. That pitch is right down the middle. Shears gets the strikeout. 2 down. Johnny Giavitello 0 for 3 in the ball game, getting a start at second base.
Yeah, Castro moving in, and doesn't really gets it on the inside half. And again, when you're struggling, you have a problem with discerning what's a strike and what's a ball. And Wellington going through one of those periods.
Left-hander's delivery on the way, a breaking ball in for a strike. Giavitello after a base hit. Didn't think that was in there.
No, it probably wasn't, but Sean Barber, his opinion's the only one that matters.
Trey Mancini at first base. Shears the look over, and the 0-1 delivery will be outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I still remember when Tommy McGraw, I pitched against him, and he came to Baltimore as a hitting instructor, and he used to, behind the cage, and he goes, "Boys, it's not your strike zone, it's theirs." Talking about the umpires, and it is, and they're all different. Some are more compatible with maybe the way you look or observe things.
1-1 delivery on the way, and that's over the top again, straight and low.
Well, you can see him. I mean, he's right over the top, and he throws that 2-seam fastball. So you stay a little bit to the right of the ball, and you get that little right to left cut. I think he's surprised, and maybe this is the difference about pitching at this level, that Trumbo hit that ball out, because it wasn't a horrible curveball, but he saw 2 of them, and the second one went sailing.
2-1 delivery came in at 91.
Yeah, and then again outside corner, a little bit of movement.
Giavitello expecting that, but good location. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There are 2 down. Orioles batting top half of the 8th inning. Twins had a 1-0 lead. The Orioles took that away with 2 runs in the 4th, and the Orioles have led since. Now lead at 5-1. Shears delivery, and again working away, and again missing.
Well, the last ground ball that Johnny Giavitello hit was 104 miles per hour, but it was right at the third baseman, so he smoked it. And you could see, pretty compact, well-built little guy.
Tough.
Yeah.
Very tough. Three ball, 2 strike count. Mancini running in the air, right center. Everybody's coming. Center fielder Buxton's there, and 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Mark Trumbo providing the power. 14th home run of the season, and picking up his 2nd against the Twins this year. To you by Miller Lite.
You talked all day about getting into situations where you can maybe win after O'Day comes in and hits Dozier on a 3-0 pitch. Now he's working on Escobar and he's battling him. Right there. I don't know how he took that pitch, but he does. They're checking with it. Fouls that one off. And then with the bases loaded, with the strikeout, Wade Miley says, nice going. Those were my guys on base. And they don't score. Orioles at the time 4-1, now 5-1.
Miley with a chance to be the winning pitcher in the ball game. Givens will stay on. Retired the side in order in the 7th inning. Rosario 0 for 3. Jonathan Scope's gone to second base from short, and Ruben Tejado's come on to play at short. So Giavotella out of the ball game. So the Twins running out of chances here in this one. That one hurt the wrist. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Eddie Rosario. Adrianza and then Buxton will be due up in the 8th inning. 1-1 delivery. Smack to right field. Back near the wall. It'll take a hop halfway up. Nice play and holds him to a single. Right off the wall. Gentry got it.
Yeah, down in the happy zone for Eddie Rosario. And again, remember, he did hit 3 home runs. And look, Craig Gentry, he can play the outfield. I mean, right there, nice snag, because if it gets by him, it's going to be a double. And then, of course, when you're 4 runs down, if you're Rosario, you're not going anywhere.
Well, major league debut. Youngster they just called up today. Zach Granite. Granite has been tearing up the minor leagues. Fans give him a big hand.
Well, that's what the numbers were. I mean, he was hitting 360 with the 4 home runs, 24 RBIs, and also 412 on base percentage.
So Granite will stand in. Runner on at first base, nobody out. Major league debut. And he will take the pitch from Michael Givens for a strike.
Yeah, minor league player of the year last year. What did he have a nice year down at Chattanooga? Not a lot of home runs, but high average, high on base percentage.
The pitch on the way. Granite's one of those guys here in Minnesota, because he was having such a big year. Everybody kept saying, call him up, call him up. Fans wanted to see him, and the organization kept saying, no, no, no. Okay, just worked AA last year. We need to give him more time. Well, time's up. Here he is.
Well, he gets up when Joe Mauer goes on the disabled list, and I don't know how long he'll be up.
And they're battling for a playoff spot, so if he can do anything to help the ball club out, he's going to stay. Granite will take the pitch away, 1-2. Presley in the bullpen. Ryan Presley.
And then for him, the challenge is, you probably see some hard throwers. I'm not sure. That last pitch at 98. Let's see. Again, you're ahead. He's thrown a good changeup. Big couple of strikeouts, 2 out of 3 last inning.
Ball will be fouled back, trying to get around on it.
But I would imagine they have him set up for the changeup now that he's a little bit late on 97. The important thing is, if you're going to throw it, don't throw it in the strike zone. I mean, this count allows you to throw it just off the corner a little bit, see if you can get him out in front.
Minnesota sent Felix Jorge, who pitched last night against the Orioles, back to the minors to make room for Granite on the roster. 1-2 delivery on the way to him, and a foul comes right straight back. He led all of the minors, not just the International League, but all minor leagues in batting average with that 360 mark. His line was 360, 412, and 492 over 59 games. Outstanding.
Well, if you read the bat, and that's what good catchers and good pitchers do, he was on that fastball. So you got 2 other pitches. Why don't you unveil one right here?
1 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way, and Granite will follow it away again. So fights off a couple. Twins down 5-1. They have been a comeback ball club this year. The Orioles want no part of that. They've seen that happen in the first 2 games of this series. 1-2 pitch. And another one fought off. Certainly has the fans behind him. They know who he is. They've been reading about him, hearing about him. Michael Givens in the battle with him. 1-2 delivery. He'll take it outside.
You know, there's a changeup, but not close enough to be of any concern to Granite. Again, never has hit a lot of home runs, so you could see short swing. And of course, the shorter the swing, usually the better plate coverage.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Runner off first. Givens delivers outside.
Well, he fought of everything on the outside part of the plate, and now with a 4-run lead, the last thing you want to do is walk him. So you're going to have to take your chances out over the plate, and every pitch he's seen has been in that location.
10th pitch of the at bat, his first in the majors. Runner goes, lifts it down the line, deep, but foul.
It's pretty impressive bat for a rookie. That was 97, and he just turned on it. I would imagine if you're hitting 360, you have a pretty good idea where the barrel of that is, even if it is the minor leagues.
Yeah. Well, he won't forget his first at bat. You wouldn't anyway, but got a lot to remember in this one. Again, a 3-2 coming. Runner went last time, so the throw over. th round pick by the Twins in 2000. 24 years old out of Staten Island, New York. 3-2 delivery, and that one's punched in the air down the line. Joey Rickard coming. He's got it. Runner gets back to first base. So Granite is retired on the fly ball. MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Orioles baseball. Stay connected, fully customizable experience. Get Oriole home screen icons, app features, game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, statcast, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. 1 down, 1 on. Gentry came in from right field. So we play the song, "Don't Leave Me This Way." Gentry will come back up.
No speculation on this.
I'm not speculating.
No, we're not.
I am not speculating.
Whatever it was,
It's okay, I guess.
we might have. Yeah, really might have. You know, maybe the new glove or had the sunglasses earlier.
Maybe a new mitt there. Pitch inside by Givens.
The old mitt.
Buxton a base hit, a walk, and a fielder's choice. Twins have a runner on, 1-0 count, only one away. Givens having to work hard here after that at bat by Granite. A number of pitches thrown. Gets one on the outside corner. With the All-Star break coming, Buck Showalter obviously able to use the bullpen if he wants to a little bit differently in terms of stretching out some of the relief appearances.
Well, when you struggle, I mean, just generally, but also on the road, you know you're going to have 4 days off. It's about winning.
That one goes first base side. And out of play. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Yeah, I think you look at the pitch count, and for Michael Gibbons, it's now 38. It's 50-50 as far as strike and ball, which is a little bit high for him. Actually, maybe it's my eyes. 30 looks like 38 from 420 feet. Now that I see it on the screen, it's actually only 11 balls and 19 strikes.
And a foul tip into the mitt and held onto by Castillo.
Yeah, 99 on the corner. And Brian Buxton going to go get the glove or the mitt.
3 strikeouts for Gibbons.
Right on the corner.
2 down, 1 on. That'll bring Jason Castro to the plate. Castro a base hit. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game. 3 hits, 6 at bats in the 2 games he's appeared in here in this 4-game set. Orioles lead at 5-1. Both starting pitchers are of record. Mejia 4 runs, 5 hits, 6 2/3, and Wade Miley a run, 8 hits, 5 2/3. 1-0 count. Castro in the number 9 spot. So with 2 down, Gibbons not wanting to turn this order over. That goes right into the shift. Scope gets the out. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've completed 8 here in Minneapolis. The Orioles have a 4-run lead. More in the 9th since 2014. They did it on Friday. The Marlins have out-hit their opponents by a double-digit margin 6 times this year. That ties the Mariners for the most such games in the majors since 2017. The Marlins can hit. And Zach Greinke can pitch with Arizona, 11th win of the season, 6-3. He's 9-0 in 11 starts at home, tied for the most wins without a loss in home games by any pitcher prior to the All-Star game over the past 63 years. Phillip Hughes.
Yeah, right arm soreness, so kind of up and down. Obviously, 4-year deal for a lot of money. Last year, the broken leg. So again, actually, when he came up with the Yankees, he pitched out of the bullpen, pitched very well, and maybe that'll be the role. But again, the velocities drop. You know, fastball, cutter, curveball pitcher, occasional changeup.
So deep into the bullpen for the Twins today. Shears worked an inning, a run on 2 hits with 1 strikeout. Polanco's come on to play at short. Adrianza out of the ball game after being pinch hit for. And the Orioles bat here in the 9th inning. Out hit 9-7, but they lead 5-1. Hughes' delivery will be foul back. Craig Gentry, 1 ball, 1 strike count. Walked his last time up, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Hughes delivery, and he gets a slider down and away, off speed at that, and the count's 1-2. Hughes, a lot of years with the Yankees, so a lot of appearances. Against the Orioles, he owns an 8-7 lifetime mark. This is the 26th game he's appeared in against the Orioles. 22 of those were as a starter. 4.79 ERA, and had 1 save opportunity and got it against the Orioles.
Yeah, came up, went 0-4, 8.62 ERA, and then the next year they pitched him out of the bullpen, and then he became a starter.
Towards second base, Dozier. 1 down in the 9th. Twins will have the top of their order batting in the bottom half of the inning. Joey Rickard, base hit, double, has scored a run, 2 for 4 in the ball game for the Oriole left fielder. So Rickard's played an integral part in the game. Takes a cut at the 92.
Yeah, that little cut fastball, a lot of movement, and that's what happens when you've had a series of injuries like Phillip Hughes.
Oh, 1 pitch. That time moved it in a bit. Still up. 0-2.
Yeah, signed all the way through 2019.
Rickard 0 for 5 off him. Will take the pitch up high. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Orioles win it. It will be considered a comeback win since they trailed early 1-0. That was back after 3. 2 in the 4th, though, and they went ahead and have stayed there. And he'll get him.
Yeah, the big curveball. I saw that when he first came up with the Yankees. And then he added the cutter. I mean, he had some nice years, not only with the Yankees, but also here. What got him the 4-year deal was going 16-10 with a very low ERA. 3.52 his first year here, and then got a little bit more difficult. 11-9, and then last year broken leg, 1-7.
Manny Machado has tagged Hughes. 10 for 21, 2 home runs. Manny in the ball game has single, doubled, scored twice, and driven in a run. In the air to right, Grossman. So the Twins will be coming up, and the Orioles are going to pitch in the bottom of the 9th for the first time since June 29th. We'll get them. nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Johns Hopkins Orthopedics, serving the community for over 125 years. Just outside the Target Center. Carew, Hillebrew,
Oliva. Oh, yes. And Brad Brock, 15 out of 19, kind of scattered the blown saves. Very low numbers. And we did an interview with him yesterday before the game. What did he say? Get the first batter out. And, of course, the last, while you still have a lead. Again, pretty good numbers. But, again, I guess he was thinking about the few times where he's failed is that first batter's been able to get on. So we'll see what he does here with Dozier leading it off.
So Brad Brock looking to finish it off. Not a save situation. Orioles have held Dozier down pretty well. A couple of hits in the first 3 games of the series and 12 at bats. He was hit by a pitch. Stranded in the 6th inning. Best chance the Twins had to have a big inning. They left the bases loaded in the 6th. Dozier will take the pitch outside from Brock.
Yeah, didn't do much on Thursday. He kept swinging the balls up out of the zone. But yesterday in the 5th, in that 5-run inning, got a key triple. Took a ball up and away right over the first base bag for a triple.
Brock's delivery to him in the big cut. 1-2. Orioles a season low, 6 below 500, trying to move that to 5. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and Dozier fights it off. Summer crowd on this Saturday of 26,323. 26,323. The announced attendance. Brock ahead of him, 1-2. And Dozier takes it and he's gone.
You know, watched it all the way to the glove. Kind of hoping that it was off the plate, and it wasn't. Hard slider from Brad Brock. He's got the changeup, so it's not like he just sit on one pitch. Take a look. That's off the corner, and that's what he was hoping for.
Bullpen today behind Wade Miley. O'Day with a 3rd of an inning, 1 strikeout. Givens 2 solid innings again. He gave up only 1 hit and struck out 3, and now Brad Brock on to try and finish it up. Brad's delivery. Escobar 0 for 4 in the ball game, 2 for 8 in the series so far. Switch hitting 3rd baseman. 1-0 delivery on the way. That's there for a strike.
You can see it's a pretty, I mean, it's a young team, but pretty disciplined. You don't see a lot of young hitters taking, even though you're 4-run down, and that's a conventional way of thinking. But he took that pitch, making Brad Brock throw a strike, and now it changes a little bit, but it's a nice approach.
Toronto's lost their ball game today. The Orioles and Toronto were tied for last in the division starting the day. Yankees have won their ball game, trying to gain on the Red Sox, who are still playing. And the pitch will be taken up high. 2-2. Infield back deep on it. Pitch away. So Brock goes full line. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Escobar with Sano, number 3 hitter, waiting on deck. By that home run by Trumbo. 8th inning. Put that little extra spread on matters so much. You get to the 9th inning. 3-2 delivery is foul back. Manny Machado RBI day. 2 for Jonathan Scope, 1 for Trumbo. Orioles have delivered the 2 home runs, Scope and Trumbo.
That's pretty well for a shortstop, doesn't it?
Yes.
Scope.
Not bad, eh?
First game. 462-foot home run. Manny, he hits well wherever he plays.
Brock ready with the 3-2. Smiling Mark Trumbo. He led the charge about saying we got to get all the ingredients together in one game.
Yeah, didn't do it last night. Of course, those comments were made after losing on Thursday, and it looked like they were getting some of the ingredients in the right mix in the bowl.
And a nasty pitch down and in. Castillo will make the flip to first base, and the strikeout. 2 for Brock.
Yeah, you don't see Brad Brock throw too many sliders to lefties, but he does here 3-2. He kept fouling off 97-mile-per-hour fastballs. So both of the strikeouts, and there's the slider. Escobar not looking for it. Couldn't gauge it. Dozier took it. So back-to-back strikeouts on breaking balls.
So 1 away from ending the losing streak and getting the first win against Minnesota this year. Sano, a home run, 3rd inning, 21st. Walked, singled, and struck out today. Sano against Brock, 1 for 3. Brad's delivery on the 0-1. Wade Miley is going to be the winner in this one. He will be 4-7, ending a 3-game losing streak. He is going to take the loss, 4-4, ending a 3-game win streak. The 0-2 delivery ends the game. So Brad Brock comes on and strikes the side out here in the 9th inning. Good job by Brad to finish it up, and the Orioles take a little sigh of relief here and get rid of that L column and pick up their 41st win of the year. They'll try and finish up with another one tomorrow afternoon as we close out the series. Ubaldo Jimenez and Kyle Gibson. Our coverage on Masson 2, 1:30 O's Extra, presented by Jeep. Our game coverage will be at 2. This has been a Masson presentation. Tom and Rick with a look at what a win looks like for the Orioles on a summer Saturday. The Orioles win this one 5-1. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew here in Minneapolis, I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Adieu, adieu.